It's the I Told You So edition of Midnight's Edge in the Morning with Mr. H Reviews. Rosario Dawson comes up on the list next in cancel culture. And Disney has R-rated films now on Disney Plus. Welcome, everybody, to Midnight's Edge in the Morning. I'm Tom Connors. With me is the boss man, Andre.
Greetings, everyone. Hope you're all doing okay.
That didn't sound good, Rob. Also with us is the voice of Midnight's Edge, Rob.
How's it going, everybody?
And we also have Mr. H Reviews with us as well this morning. How you doing?
Just fading in here. Yeah, I'm doing good. Thanks
sorry, my ordinarily dulcet tones that they've been described turned into an exasperated groan. Sorry.
Dreadful.
You should be sorry.
Yeah,
hang your head in shame.
Yes.
What was it you guys called Wednesday again?
Hump Day.
Hump Day, right.
But during this crap, it's Blur's Day. Every day is Blur's Day.
Yeah. I think that's true pretty much everywhere. Like in Norway, we tend to call Wednesday Little Saturday. But,
you kind of like that.
Yeah.
I wish that was the case.
It was weird that it's weird you mentioned Little Saturdays. It was weird back in the day when before all my friends got married, had kids, and they were able to go out on a regular basis. There were 2 days to hang out, Saturday and Wednesday. For some reason, we decided Wednesday. Well, let's just all go hang out at the bar. So there's a little like that. That was our Little Saturday, yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Good times.
Saturday.
Yeah, good times. Well, I agree, but yeah, those were good times, and now pretty much every day is Thursday, and we are so glad that all of you made it part of your business on this lovely Blur's Day, whether it be morning or evening where you are, to join us. That is absolutely fantastic. And speaking of fantastic, Pinhead, he starts us off with $20. Whoa, thank you so much. And he says, "Hail panel, here is to keeping the lights on. I pray all is well with you lots." Oh, thank you. We're so glad to hear that. So far, all is good. And we hope and pray everything is good with both you and everyone else listening out there. We have a few more super chats we're going to get through before we go through the main topic of today. Darius Münchhausen sent us a $1.49 super sticker, so thanks for that. And then we also had the Jack of all casuals sending us a $2.99 super sticker, so thank you so much for that. Plus, we also have let's see, I'm just going to go into the list.
Mr. Tickle Trump sent us a super sticker as well. Thank you. Spider Unlimited sent us a $9.99 super chat. Says, "Hi, gents. Have you checked out Star Wars IG post? It's little hypocrisy as if they're trying to provoke angry fans. I keep slamming them. Hopefully block. LOL. P.S. No Midnight's Edge on IG."
IG?
Yeah.
Yeah, Midnight's Edge doesn't have an Instagram.
Oh, okay.
I'm on Instagram, but I hardly know how to use it.
We probably have to get on that, but no, there's no Midnight's Edge on Instagram just yet. But
I technically am now. So
how would you handle that, Andre? You're gonna do a face reveal on Instagram? You're gonna do some bathroom selfies or something like that?
You just don't want to do what everybody else does on Instagram. Just take pictures of whatever food you're eating.
Maybe.
I don't think I've ever done that, actually. I take pictures of my dog mainly, to be fair.
Maybe I can take pics of my gym progress now, and I'm gonna start working out again. That might be something to do.
What's funny is
on the gym, get fit with
like
Midnight's Edge.
60 days of your forearm work. Let's
something like that. That would be.
Andre's face is like the worst kept secret on the internet. Like you look like your cartoon for one. And
it's not a secret.
It's not like your picture's not out there.
I know. Just look me up on Facebook.
There's been one or two times where you've accidentally flashed your face on the camera too when you were using it.
The time when I've been on a laptop where I actually have a webcam.
Or a laptop or whatever,
stationary.
Stephanie Janacek from the Smuggler's Cantina sends in a super chat, says they're trying to ruin Favreau that's the end game. Well, we're going to get into a lot of that here in a few minutes.
That is indeed the end game. It's very hard to disagree with that. No. Greetings to everyone else. Mr. Tickle Trunk says, "Buckle up for what we are about to get into."
Speaking of buckle up,
I saw this.
I thought this would get us off to a nice laugh this morning.
Yeah, start us off with that, Tom.
Okay, I'm taking it you've actually seen this, Andre.
I have no idea, so I'm waiting to be surprised.
Oh, this is the Karen
or annoyed.
This is great. Yeah. It's only 48 seconds. So.
Leave me alone. Why do you keep following me? It's honestly so creepy, and I'm going to call the cops.
Man, no.
Because you guys aren't leaving me alone, and that's why women can't go out in the world by themselves, because of guys like you.
What?
Okay? So stop following me.
You have... I don't know if you have like a gas... You have a thing hanging out of your car.
What are you talking about?
There's literally a gas hose hanging out of your car. No one's being creepy. No, thank you, I guess. There's the thank you.
That's a resentful thank you.
That has to be fake.
I don't know about that.
That has to be fake.
I don't know about that.
You didn't even close the gas can.
She didn't even close the gas can.
That has to be fake.
You'd think it would be, but
well, she's driving a Mercedes, so I mean,
That's serious. That has to be. How you wouldn't be able to snap? You wouldn't be able to snap one. Not like that. Not without knowing. Like you'd know.
Well, yeah.
Well, you saw
that
the camera came up in the middle of the action after she obviously pulled over the car and everything. So yeah. That's actually stupid enough that it just might be real. Like it's a weird world out there.
Well, I'm not going to show the video now. Maybe I'll show it later. But like, I'll tell you that I believe it might be real because people are stupid.
Oh
like,
no, I know people are dumb. But
I
don't know.
I've seen it. I've seen this shit. I've seen this shit.
Humanity.
9 times out of 10, it's some young chick who just drives off. 9 times out of 10. I hate to say it. I've worked at a gas station before, folks. So.
Damn.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure that happens more than we would like to think.
You want to know why? I know that it happens more than you think. That's why they have that breakaway thing on there. That's why she's not getting gas all over the place.
Yeah, I guess so.
Because they have a breakaway on them.
I was just about to ask about do they have a breakaway? I mean, there's more video. There's another video of the same instance here. And I just found it. What happens if you drive away with the gas pump, with the gas hose?
It used to be real bad. That's why they changed it. Like they fixed
the other question is, what did she put the right fuel? Like, did she put gas where there should be diesel?
That's another fun
one. That's a fun one.
You have no idea how many times I've had people, and I hate to say it again, it's usually younger women, put the wrong fuel in their car.
This is generally not recommended, especially if you have a diesel car. Don't put gasoline on.
Yeah,
it really doesn't like that.
I've been witness to this crap. It's not good.
There's a video of a lady. She does the same thing, but she stops because that's gonna make a pretty big bang when you drive off. I mean, you're gonna hear like the snap.
You'd be surprised what people don't pay attention to, Rob.
Yeah. I'm actually not surprised. Nowadays. I'm actually not surprised because you see stupidity firsthand.
Well, if you're gonna do that, you are not focused to begin with. So what's another snap?
Yeah.
And then you snap this, Rob?
Well, yeah. I mean, there's the same instance of that.
It happens, like I said, all the time.
Yeah.
And I can tell you why it happens because our education system is fucked for one. Well, Rob knows what I'm talking about. I showed a video last night on the show that was sent to me by Raging Rhino. My God, a history teacher posted it. It must have been his first day with these students because these students had no idea what the hell they were talking about.
Well, I used to work at a place that used to handle propane, and you'd be surprised. Propane's an explosive gas. People just throw it, and on a 100-degree day, I've had people throw it in the trunk. I'm like, you do. I'm like, and I said, listen, can you put that in the? Oh yeah, can you put it in the trunk? Actually, no, I can't. Legally, I cannot put it in the trunk. Why not? I said, because it's a compressed gas. It's a hot day. You have an enclosed space. And if the gas expands, it's going to leak out of the safety valve. And the first time you step on the brakes, the arc from the brake lights will make it go boom. He goes, the guy literally says to me, the lights are on the outside. Says, okay, sir. See you next. Here, good luck. See you next time.
Super Nate sends in $5. Says not on topic, but Mr. H, I agreed with every word of your Superman and Lois review. Surprisingly good, and recommend everybody here watches the premiere. Now, I'm kind of surprised to hear that, Mr. H.
I couldn't believe it.
I was surprised to hear you because I actually perused the first script and I'm like, this is fucking trash, and I quit reading. So yeah, let's hear your quick review of the Superman show.
No, look, I don't know what to say. It's good. It is actually good. The cinematography is movie level. Cinematography is great. The color palette's great. Like the CGI is good TV level. It's not movie level, but it's nothing. You're not going to look at it and go, "Oof, that's real terrible." Like in Batwoman, for instance. Batwoman is just so horrendous. The writing's not bad. It's wholesome. There's no agenda. There's sort of family struggles. It just works. It's actually good. Like it's decent. Like, yeah, I literally don't know what to tell you. There's villains. There's sort of ominous companies that may be doing things. It's no spoilers, but it's, do you know what I mean? Like it works. I liked it, and I will say that I hate the CW. So for me to say it's good, like my vested interest is against it, quite frankly. But I actually liked it. So yeah,
I will say that when I saw the Super Bowl spot, as some of you will remember from when we covered that, I was positively surprised by that thing, because I'm completely out of all CW stuff. I can't stand any of it. But when I saw the Super Bowl spot for that, was the first time I even heard about the show. I was like, that looks surprisingly not bad.
Yeah, I mean, look, inevitably, give it 2 seasons and it'll be terrible.
Oh yeah,
well, give it 2 episodes. Well, let's talk then.
Well, no, some of the good seasons, they start off good, and the good shows or what were good, they start off good, and it's a few seasons in, then they go real bad. Like I've heard that about things like Flash and things like that. So it could be terrible, but like it's actually good. I genuinely enjoyed it. Like it's decent. It's like it's kind of like a cross between like there's Smallville vibes in there. So if anyone has some sort of positive thoughts about Smallville, there's some of that vibes in there, but sort of. They even do Superman's backstory really well. Like obviously, we've all heard Superman's backstory, but there'll be people that will be watching that show that maybe haven't, and they just want to insert it quickly to bring people up to speed. And even that's done really well. Like it's just done quickly. Hey, this and this, done. Bye. It's like it's a good show. Like I don't know what to say. It was a good episode. It might be garbage week on, week out, but we'll see.
Yeah. Well, the time of wonders evidently is not over yet.
Well, it's refreshing to hear that, because I mean, I'm a huge Superman fan. There hasn't been a lot for a Superman fan to gravitate towards. Not to bash on Man of Steel, but I fucking hated it. I mean, that's no secret on my end. But
I like it, but so yeah, divided opinions.
Yeah, but it's not a Superman movie, and that's the thing, is even people who like it can't argue that, because they're like, oh, but it's his first few days. Well, then why make a Superman movie? Just don't. I don't know. Anyway, Mr. Tickle Trunk says, the gas line lady seemed real to me. I used to live in a place with a sign, no left turns at a 3-way stop. On the left, there were trees and a wall.
Jesus.
Yeah, what he's saying here is they had to put a sign there because
people
were fucking doing it.
Insane.
Comrade Commissaire Yuri says, Disney set the precedent, left the fired Jaylene Kennedy comment. Let the fired Kathleen Kennedy commence. Yeah, I seen it didn't take long for people to find Pedro's video over on the AFI yesterday. I don't know. Maybe somebody pointed him in that direction, perhaps. I don't know. Fluffy Panda says CW's Flash and Arrow started out good too until wokeness. Yeah, I was really into both those shows, and then they
exactly. But then watch it until it gets bad, then stop. Like, you can still enjoy it up until that point, can't you? And then you just switch off. I don't see the issue with that. You can still enjoy it week on, week out. Gives you something nice.
And I'm sick of this too. It's called Man of Steel, not Superman. Man of Steel is Superman. I don't know.
But anyway, I will say that Mr. H is right. So if the CW has done something incredible, and actually made a good show, however by accident.
Well, so I've heard.
Then you know what? Then support it by watching it. Give it a chance so that they can feel it if it starts sucking.
Yeah, well, I've heard that it's HBO Max actually has a big part of it. That's why, apparently.
Oh,
Which would make sense because it
AT&T
looks-
influence.
Yeah, it looks like it's got a big budget. Like, it genuinely looks relatively big budget.
It's probably
like
something
Batwoman.
they-
You watch Batwoman, you go, well, this is clearly made on, like, you know, a tuppence. It's fucking trash. But this looks like you're watching a mini movie, you know? Like, it's good. Like, it's actually decent.
I'm going to check it out now. I wasn't really keen on checking it out after, like I said, I read the first few pages of the script, and I'm like, nope.
Well, you might be jaded then if you've read the script. I caught.
They may have
10 seconds
changed
of the trailer.
stuff too. Like that's the thing is the script I had was God. What was it? A year ago almost now, Andre.
Mm.
And I think
They
that was
will
just
have a
the pilot
time
episode.
They will have had time to make polishes, and also if AT&T came involved in the last minute and they put some money and they put some action production value there, and because there's like the script, was it a complete dumpster fire, or was it something that with one rewrite you actually couldn't make workable?
Oh yeah, I'm sure that's the
Yeah.
case.
Exactly.
I don't
because,
want to ask you. I don't want to ask you what was in the script. Then,
I don't you see. That's the thing is I only read like the first few pages, and it just basically gave away the idea of which one of the kids had powers, and just kind of gave the setup. And I was just like, yeah, this is boring.
Yeah, no, they
And-
do that, but they don't play
Yeah.
into it. They don't play into it, dude. Like that again. That's the thing. Like it's not. That's not the focus.
Well,
but
the upside
like
is
a side focus. It works quite well. Like it might be something that on paper looks like trash, but in action, it actually. I don't know. Well, I don't know what to say. It was decent.
Well,
I enjoyed my time.
they
watching it.
obviously did some shaking up in the writing room because that's the show where that one lady claimed she was fired over racism. Remember?
oh yeah, they got
yeah.
rid of the incompetence. Yeah, good going. It seems to have worked out great.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, she was okay.
So
Yeah,
like
she
I said,
was
it's
probably the
very
one with all of
possible.
the crap ideas, and then they let her go so she could go
Yeah.
complain on Twitter, and they got a better show for it. Seems
Yeah,
like a
true.
great deal overall for me.
Your Muslim uncle at 523. Thanks for that, dude. That's a fun comment. Appreciate it.
Let me see if I can find it. Where's it at?
See?
These things go by so fast sometimes. I don't see it here.
523.
Yeah, I'm looking for it. It's
It's a ways back there.
Yeah, it's 5:23 your time. But yeah,
No, I mean I was just looking for the 23 part, but yeah.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. True.
Yeah.
We're not. It's a little bit up from Ray J's World $5 super.
Oh, okay. Here it is.
That should. Yeah, there you go. Because he came over to my, I think it was Monday's stream. I can't remember.
Yeah, I think so. I think it
This
was.
chat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would have been Monday.
Yeah.
Monday. Yeah. So to anyone wondering, I'm over at Mr. Age's stream every single Monday. Tom will frequently drop in too, as well as Script Doctor sometimes. So do check that out after we are finished with our Monday stream.
Yeah, Script has been real busy lately. That's why he hasn't been joining us. So good for him. He's getting work. Ray J's World, though, as you pointed out, sent in a super chat, says Star Wars YouTube is getting ratioed to hell. These stands that are trying to go after Rosario Dawson are going to be in for a rude awakening. Blech.
Well,
Yeah,
we
we're
will
about to get into
get
that.
into we are about to get into that, but we're gonna get caught up with Super Day Super Chat first.
Super
Yeah,
day,
and,
super day.
Yeah, exactly.
10 times the charm.
I was reading day in this super chat and I got that confused because Stephanie Yanis
Oh, I love it.
Cantina says day 3067 of Star Wars being held hostage by
That-
crazy lady.
That
So,
sounds,
yeah.
that sounds like a quote from Bat Tom.
Day 36708.
Oh God, that's
Star
funny.
Wars is still being held hostage by
Star Wars is still being held hostage by that horrible lady.
There's no end in sight.
Indeed, but we
I was
also have a few
convinced it was a
super chats to run through, which we can no longer bring up on screen. So we're going
In
to go
other news,
through
Brie Larson
those.
doesn't know how to make a bed. Did you see that this morning?
No,
What are
but
the
we can get into that later. I mean, screw that. Like, who cares if she goes in and
It was
out
just
of
a
bed
quick-
or whatever?
That was a quick thing she posted online. Even superheroes don't make their beds sometimes. I'm like, AKA, I don't know how to make a bed.
I want to
Yeah.
know, given her current physique, where are the feminists screaming, "Where are her organs?"
Oh yeah, she looks like she lost a shit ton of weight too. Anyway, snake shit.
Well, Tom, you know what they say, cocaine's a hell of a drug.
Yeah, cocaine. Teen boy drove off with a hose in St. Louis and sprayed gas on Lambo Hurricane Performante. I can't. Huracan. Okay. Thank you.
Performante.
Yeah, that's what I said. Turned
Sorry.
it to the ground.
I'm a car guy.
I know you are. Driver didn't know till later. Wow. Yeah. See, this is why they put the breakaways on there. Because if those things come out, and that used to be a big problem. I think now in the States they have to have them. As far as I know, Miguel Hernandez says, "I liked Stargirl. It's good and family friendly." I've heard a lot of good things about Stargirl. Did you see that yet, Rob, or anybody else?
I haven't.
I'm pretty selective about what I watch. Like I can't really be bothered half the time because I watch so much stuff for
I hear
channel
you.
and stuff. So it just didn't capture my attention. I thought Superman and Lois could be interesting because it's a different take on him. You know, like of course we in the comics he's had kids and stuff like that, but it's not been explored on screen. So I thought, well, this could be really interesting. Like a family dynamic could be interesting, and turns out it was.
Exactly. And then going back to some older super chats we can no longer bring up on screen. Daryl Brewer said, "Sadly can't stay for the show. Gotta work. Hail all and keep up what you all do." Oh, thank you, Daryl. I hope you get to see this later. And then T Neil 89 said for $20, "Morning from work, gentlemen. I have a theory that this recent surge in KK faction reeing is also a tacit admission they feel their position growing desperate. You don't get desperate from a position of strength." Oh, absolutely. And we're about to get into that. Absolutely, Warren. Thank you for the generous super chat. We really appreciate that, and absolutely keeps our lights on. And it's very, very dark in Norway, and also in the northern states right about now. And Hyper Guyver 2 said, "Good afternoon, you lovely deplorables." Well, good afternoon to you as well, and thanks for that. And the Jack of all casuals sent a $2.99 super sticker of a cute little doggy. Mr. Tickle Trunk also sent a super sticker of a little doggy, and Darius Münchhausen sent us a super sticker of popcorn. And Karusa Yaiba says for $2, "Thanks for the streams that I play while working." Oh, thank you. I'm so glad that we can keep you entertained. And then we did the Spider Unlimited one, and Roger Haynes sent us a thumbs up super sticker. Nelson Shereta says, "Tom, why no Batman in Avengers Endgame?"
I don't know why, because they don't want to pay me.
Yeah, there you have it. That's the reason.
That's one of the jokes we've been going around, with the whole Chun-Li thing. Why isn't SpongeBob in Spider-Man?
And BK0271 says for $5 Canadian, "Being a fan has been depressing for far too long. I've been re-watching SG1 and that has brought happiness back. When will we get good news to celebrate?" Well, evidently not yet, because what we are talking about today, at least what to start us off with on the first main topic today, is the news that the Twitterati, the ones that cancelled Gina Carano, they aren't satisfied. Oh, no. Far from it. On the contrary, they are emboldened after taking down the big monstrosity they saw Gina Carano as. And they now have their targets locked on their next goal, their next of many. Next one being Ahsoka Tano herself, Rosario Dawson. And this comes from this. Of course, Tom, you predicted this already, didn't you?
I was going to say, can I do it?
Yeah, go for it.
I fucking knew it! Oh!
Well, and it wasn't like, I mean, again, it's what we've been saying. The KK faction, they have two set agendas here. First of all, destroy anything that's good, right? Like that's a given. And the easiest way to do that is go after not Rey, first. And then the second person is Ahsoka and everybody else in line. It's not going to end. She's out to trash the show. And her faction is more than happy to do it because they don't like individuals with a little bit different thought than them or, anything like that. And Rosario is kind of an innocent in this. She, on the other hand, is pretty much in the same boat as them as far as her politics go. In fact, she dated Cory Booker for a while, didn't she?
Yeah.
Or some shit like that.
Yeah, but that doesn't help. Remember
I know,
Obama
and I
said
said
about
this,
circular
and I've
fighting
been the first
squads?
one to say it doesn't fucking matter. Just like it doesn't fucking matter that the case that the whole thing is built upon as far as her being a transphobe, is what are they going after her for, is a case that got thrown out of court and she had nothing to do with.
Mm-hmm.
And it boils down to, like, I guess it was either one of her assistants or a housekeeper or something like that was caught stealing, and they got into a physical altercation with Rosario's mother. Mm-hmm. And the whole thing went to court, but the person claimed they were being misgendered and all this other crap to try and get out of basically trouble for stealing shit, is what it sounded like to me. So the whole thing got tossed out of court.
It's never going to end, Tom. I mean, it's never going to end. They're never going to be satisfied. They're just going to keep moving target to target. These are just bitter people that want everything their way because they were told how special they were when they were children. You are the most specialist that ever specialed.
I call these PAGs. This is the Participation Award Generation. Yeah. It's the perfect example of it perfectly explains why these idiots are the way they are. It's because they got the medal for fucking turning up. And you should never award people just for turning up. You get awarded for winning. Right? First, second place, first, second, third. That's it.
Yeah.
These idiots that get a trophy for just attending. No, no one's special. You're not special. And, outperform someone, then you're special.
These are the same motherfuckers who are asking why Chun-Li isn't in Mortal Kombat. Remember that.
Indeed. But there's two sides to this, because one is that, you have a generation that basically have been raised up to be in a cult. They live in a prison of belief of their own making, where you see, like, they use all of these words and everything, but at the same time, they are being purposely weaponized. Because Stephanie Anisek, they're useful idiots, because she absolutely caught it here when she said the end game here is to take down Jon Favreau. Yep. And I 100% agree with that. That behind these useful idiots, you have a few instigators that are directly linked to Lucasfilm. We saw this with the Gina Carano situation, like the hashtag cancel Gina Carano, or fire her, that came straight from Lucasfilm offices. They instigated it and they kept that fire burning, and I do believe that they are also the ones that are now starting to try to get this trending. And the reason is Kathleen Kennedy wants to get rid of the competition, and the competition is Jon Favreau, because he, by and large, saved Star Wars. Now, she just was able to critically damage The Mandalorian and Rangers of the New Republic by getting rid of Cara Dune, but you still have this very problematic Ahsoka problem, as you see right here in this article, which I do believe is
and as I pointed
out, now they're gunning for her, and it's only as a means to get to Favreau and damage everything that he's doing, so to get focus back on the High Republic.
It's not that they're going for now. They're going for her now. They're going for her again. That's the thing. They
tried before when she first was announced.
Yeah. Now they want another bite at the apple.
Well, what it is that they've realised they can actually get something.
Yeah, they got a little taste of power.
Yeah, they're emboldened now
to them due to fucking Gina Carano. And now they're like, oh well, I'll tell you what. And they, their wording is now we'll go and get Ahsoka. Now take them down. Why haven't you done this now? Because because you did this for this. Now you need to do this. It's like, mate, no one owes you anything. Just get offline, you little scumbag. Get offline.
Oh, that's not good enough for him because, like I always say, this makes everybody feel empowered. Ooh, look at me, I'm making a difference. And tweet.
Well, not just that, we learned from Gina that it wasn't just trolls. It wasn't just, misinformed or misguided or, what have you. People. It was people inside Lucasfilm.
Well, and also the peripheral. So it was like, well, what was it she had? Publicists. It was publicists and things like that as well, wasn't it?
Remember what we heard when Kathleen Kennedy said? I will burn this silliness to the ground. And she's doing it.
That's not an exact quote, though. We can't pin that
on
anything. That's what we were told.
That's what we told.
That's what we were told. We were told. You were told.
But that's kind of what we're seeing right now. Burning the whole magic castle to the ground. But again, now it's for the purpose of propping up her own properties. Imagine what she would do when she just wants to burn for the sake of burning.
Well, the barn is on fire, and she's pouring gasoline on a house that's already burning. But, or if you want to use another metaphor, the guns are pointed straight at the deck. It's amazing. Like, really, she. You know what? Listen, this craven little. You know what? I'll get canceled for that saying. You don't know. You really don't know when to sit back and leave well enough alone, do you? If she's the mastermind behind this whole movement, then you know what? You get what you deserve. You deserve. And if you sit there and actively support any of this, then you know what? Fuck off.
Well, Lupo brings up a point here. It's funny they're not going after Bill Burr, and I'll tell you why they're not going after Bill Burr yet. They will eventually.
They will
eventually. But first, Kathy is focused on the women. Why? Because you got to get rid of them first. So then all that's left is white men.
Mm-hmm.
So that they can say, well, all this show is white men. We have to get rid of it.
Yeah. And plus, and like I said, the other reason is because these women, they're not Rey. That is the other thing that sticks in her. Yeah. Well, anyway, that sticks in their craw that they're not her perfect Rey. And that really burns her.
Yeah.
I gave you this character, and you ingrates don't like her, Yeah.
But the worst of all is that they come from the imagination of Jon Favreau. Like, they're not hers, and that is the real big crime that they must be taken down for. So don't underestimate that. However, there is, there's the bigger side to it, which is the Kathleen Kennedy side, but she couldn't do it completely on her own because you have like all these Twitterati. And this article, the one from Inverse, talk about these Twitterati and describes them in some sense, these stans. Now, I've done some reading on it. Yeah. Rob, if you are familiar with the term stans, can you just define it for the audience?
It
What's
stands
a stan?
For stalker fan.
What? That's nothing to be proud of.
Yeah, okay. I actually read myself up about it. You know that a few years back, Eminem had this song together with Dido, the song Stan. And the song is about this rabid, lunatic, nutcase, obsessive fan that ends up killing himself and his pregnant. Because Eminem wouldn't answer his fan mail because he didn't see it. So basically, it's a completely obsessed nutcase fan. That's what these people call themselves. They're stans, the most rabid and obsessed of all fans. And also in this article here, they are described as like 15, 16, 17-year-olds. So basically, these are then people that haven't been in the fandom for too long. My understanding is that they're far more concerned with social media causes than the property here itself. This is where you'll find some of the Raylos as well, probably. And my reading is that these are the true toxic fans. Yet, lo and behold, these are the same fans, these 15, 16 stans, these obsessive people that admit to being obsessive, that have like these Star Wars names in their bio, although I doubt that they know anything about them. These are the people that Disney actually kowtows to. These are the ones that bring huge corporations to their knees just because it's trending on Twitter. And you know what? And also this article here, it says towards the end there that now that they finally got rid of the horrible, no good, very evil and hateful Gina Carano, now many, many more people will think it's safe to start watching The Mandalorian. Now they no longer have to justify watching such a hateful person. So now viewers are going to flock to The Mandalorian.
Oh
that makes me question just how many more viewers will Disney Plus get as a direct or paying subscribers, I should say, will Disney Plus get as a result of firing Gina Carano, compared to how many they lost as a result of that? That would be a very interesting equation, one that I wish someone would show to the decision makers in Disney, because by basically kowtowing to these 15, 16-year-olds without purchasing power, that is what they're
not consumers.
Corporate policy.
That's
going
unbelievable. I'm so one. Don't call yourself Stan unless you're an imbecile. Unless
your name is actually Stan. I mean, that's the other thing.
Well, yeah. I mean, if you Stan, I'll let it slide. But what are these idiots doing? I've never. Well, we know anyway because we have those quotes from PR publicists and things like that said, well, we want to appease the left. Like they literally said, and these people are always the left. They're not consumers.
No, here's the thing. These people, they are so left. It even says right here in the article.
It's ideological.
But they don't know what the traditional values of a conservative is. To them, to these people, conservative equals bigot. End of story.
Parents, this is what happens when you don't let your kids play sports. They have too much fucking time on their hands. Okay?
Well, it's bigger than that. No, and Andre's even more right, is they don't even understand what they're doing. And honestly, this whole article is conflating a bunch of shit together, and it's creating a big spin on the narrative. And as you see here, as Rob and I pointed out, like this was predicted. We knew this was going to happen. And I don't think it's so much these stands as it is people coming from inside Lucasfilm starting these fucking hashtags. And they've been trying to get her fired for a while. This don't look like a stand to me. I don't see no Star Wars in that. I don't see Star Wars in that. I don't see Star Wars in that.
She looks like a cat. Well, she's going to be a cat lady, 30 and flirty.
Exactly.
Cat lady.
That looks like
a stand.
That looks like a member. That looks like someone who would be associated, like a writer or somebody, in my opinion, like somebody who would be.
And I'm not sticking up for stands. I'm just saying I don't think there's big of a problem as they're trying to portray.
I think that there's many people in there that are like the Raylos, like the 40, 50 something soccer moms, the ones who grew up on Twilight, and then not grew up, but that had an unhealthy obsession with Twilight and the teenage romance in that when they were way too old for it already then. And then they graduated to become Raylos, and they are stalking Daisy Ridley and stuff like that. Those people are the one you're kowtowing to on Twitter.
There's a great meme out there about Twilight moms. It says, a bunch of 40-year-old women screaming about a teenage boy. Someone should call the cops.
Well, this is why they cast him as Batman. You've been saying it, Rob.
Yeah, because they still feel there's some residual Twilight dollars out there, and they're all old enough now to have their own money, their own jobs, so they can buy as many Funko Pops of Bat Pattinson or whatever the fuck you want to call them, and put it on their cubicle at work. Oh, look, I'm such a nerd girl. No, you're not. Shut up.
And I have to address something in the chat too. Mags, it's perfectly okay to have cat. I like kitties too, and it's perfectly okay to be single. But as you say, you are not one of these crazies, because these are crazy people. These are not.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, we're talking about the worst. We're not referencing you, are we? We're referencing the people that sit at home stroking their cat, going, "Who can I abuse today?"
like a fucking villain. Yeah.
Not
unless that's you, Max. Then we're not talking about you.
Hey, kitties are adorable, okay? But at the same time, we're talking about the crazy cat lady, the stereotypical crazy cat lady out there.
We're talking about the stereotypes of it all.
Yeah, I do not think that we have a single crazy cat lady in our chat, or crazy cat man, because you have those two, and they are very, very prevalent within this group of stands, evidently.
If I could, I'd have a cougar. That's a mountain lion for a pet. But I think the
This is why women run the world, Rob. This is what I've been saying. Like they're under this obsessive like idea that men run the world. No, if men run the world, we'd have shit like tigers as pets. We'd live in caves, and everybody'd have monster trucks and sports cars. That would be the whole world. Like we'd have no reason.
World.
We'd have no reason for it.
Professional wrestling will be on every channel.
Yeah, and life expectancy would be 20.
Probably. Every restaurant would just serve steak. On the menu, steak. Oh, let's see. I'll have the steak.
Yeah. See, everybody's with me. Sounds awesome, right?
I would say only goes to show you need balance. That's why balance is needed.
Tom just described Evan.
And just to show the Aki Corpella also says cat dad forever. See, there we go. Also, he has a kitty in the profiles. Yeah, there we go.
Seriously, I mean, you want to see how guys would live, what kind of pet a guy would have? Go check out a channel called I Am Puma. This Russian couple have a puma for a pet. I'm not kidding. I'm like, that thing's gonna eat you. But I'm like, dude, but I admire the guy's courage having it in his house.
No, there'd be at least 6 guys that would try to tame a lion before they finally would do it. And then
Okay, yeah. If we learned one thing from Tiger King, is to stay well clear of the big cat people. Although big cats are very.
I am gay as shit. I have a warrant for my arrest and I love that show. You never finished watching it, Andre?
Yeah, no, I didn't.
You missed the best parts. That's the thing. Is like.
Yeah, I probably have to try to get back into it at some point.
But anyway, back to this whole thing.
Yes.
Like, yeah, we knew this was coming. I wouldn't be surprised if they don't find something on. God, what's your name? Rob, your favorite one that plays.
What, Brie?
No.
I thought that was Rob's favorite, but anyway.
I was being serious.
Say it! Say it!
I can't think of her name now.
Yeah.
We wanted her to play Captain Marvel, Rob.
Oh, Yvonne Stravosky.
No.
Oh, Katie Sackhoff?
Yeah, Katie Sackhoff.
Oh, well,
they'll go after her next.
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
Absolutely.
There's no end to it. That's
there's not, because they've succumbed to it. They've already given in. So no, of course there's no end to it. There's no reason. Like if they just turn around and gone, nah, fuck off, then they go, whatever. They'll stamp their feet for a little bit, and then they'll go and cry in a corner.
Exactly, but the problem here is that Disney gave in to the mob rule, and in so doing, they just enabled it and guarantee there will be more of it. And what's so insidious in this case is that, yeah, you can blame this or that and these stands and all that, but really the one stoking the fire here is the Kathleen Kennedy camp at Lucasfilm, and they do so strategically to harm what they see as the competition, which happens to be the same people that we rely on to bring Star Wars back again, namely the Favreau camp. This is all done to damage them. Because the Favreau camp, they were just winning a little bit too much. They had too much success with the Mandalorian. They had too much success with Baby Yoda. They had too much success with Cara Dune. It was just too successful all over. And now you have Boba Fett that is now, I think it's done filming, and that's from showrunner Robert Rodriguez. That's probably going to be really awesome. So that's probably gonna be good. Then you have Ahsoka Tano and all of that other good stuff. So then they just have to go in. They have to sabotage, because let's face it, the High Republic, it's dead in the water. Yeah, they'll keep on pumping it out, and it's going to keep on flopping. As someone pointed out here, just look at the official Star Wars YouTube channel. Like their videos on the generally get far less views than ours, especially if the topic is Star Wars. I bet you that if we put out a Star Wars video tonight, that's going to get more views in 24 hours than what any official Star Wars video from the Star Wars YouTube channel is going to get in a week. And if you look at those views, most of them are hate views, because if you subtract all of the dislikes and the negative comments, well, then you can cut those views that they already have in half. And now all of that was just a long-winded way of saying that the High Republic is something of a disaster. But still, that is where the Kennedy faction has put of all of their eggs, and they can't do anything to make that any better, but they can try to sabotage the competition. And that, I think, is exactly what we're seeing here.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Like I said, what we heard, she said, "I'll burn this silliness to the ground." And that's what we're witnessing. And you always had that friend that eggs you on. Yeah, man, like you're at a party, you had too much to drink, and you're about to do something stupid. Yeah, man, do it. I mean, there's people behind the scenes egging these people on. These stands, as they were, they're egging them on from behind the scenes. Yeah, do it, man. Like all it takes is for one of them to put that idea out there. Really, and then just like I said, hey, the internet is a place where bad ideas gain traction. We've all seen that. Yeah. And God, and like you said, H, these people have no buying power. And I said
they don't buy anything. They don't purchase anything. Like, look, just for an example, right? And this is the perfect example, right? Is look what happened when they caused Gina Carano to get fired, right? So Gina Carano fired. So these are the people that hate Gina Carano, right? They're not buying the figures. Boom, figures have gone to astronomical prices on eBay. And who's buying them? Obviously, all the fans of Gina Carano. Yeah. All the fans of The Mandalorian. These people don't buy shit. No. They wouldn't buy anything. They just want to destroy stuff.
Well, it's easier to destroy than it is to create. They can't create anything themselves. But the other thing is, like, they're the type of people, and we've all heard this before. Gee, I don't know why that show got canceled. I really liked it. I torrented every episode. Well, there's your fucking problem.
Yeah, exactly.
There's a disconnect between how the world works and how they think it works. But
these are the same kind of. Yeah. I know what you mean.
Oh, for Christ's sake.
It's such a shame, really. It's such a shame.
Remember, like I said, the whole idea of Galaxy's Edge. Galaxy's Edge. If I don't have kids, but I would love to take the Galaxy's Edge. This is Star Wars. This is well, you want to go to the cantina first? But no, they said, well, KK comes along. Well, we need to focus on fans. All the stories ahead instead of the 50-year-old white guys who come in with nostalgia. I'm like, the 50-year-old white guys.
Those are your money makers. Those are the ones bringing in their grandkids and stuff. Going, look at this. Boy, I love this shit. Like, come on.
Christ almighty. Like, she doesn't get it. The fans don't get it. There's people that have just a obvious and blatant and glaring disconnect with how this all works. And this is how, oh God, I'm going to have an aneurysm. Somebody pick up where I'm leaving, where I can't talk about that. I feel lightheaded.
Sure. Yeah, sure. I can pick up on it. It's just so endlessly frustration that this is allowed to happen in a company like Disney, because you would think that Disney, these days with the parks mostly shut down and everything, now when they are reduced to a streamer, you would think that they would be a for-profit company and they would put profitability first. But still, it would appear that Disney, in all their wisdom, have not figured out that the small little minority of
there's a minority people
known as stands, the smallest of all minorities of people that have any kind of interest in the Star Wars brand at large, they are the people that they have chosen to kowtow to. And in the process, they have chosen to basically just stick it to the fans, the real fans. And I don't mean to gatekeep here, but what that I mean by real fan is the one that introduced their kids and grandkids and that buy merchandise and support the products with their money. That's what I mean by real fan right here. Those are the fans that they choose to disregard in favor of 15 and 16-year-olds on Twitter that I doubt have any Star Wars merchandise to speak of at all. And I really think that the investors need to hold them accountable for this. Like on the next Disney Investor Day, I would love to see someone raise their hand and say, okay, I want to refer to this and that article. It would appear that what you have done here is that you caused maybe tens of thousands of Disney Plus cancellations. And how many did you gain from it? 10, 20? Some brownie points on Twitter? Well, that doesn't equal to any kind of shareholder value. And that's actually a good reason for the shareholders to review whether Bob Chapek is really the man for the job of CEO. Now, of course, the real problem here is Bob Iger, but he's not the CEO right now. But anyway, that's a very good reason to assess whether a change of management is needed, because decision-making like that seriously needs to be a fireable offense.
If I were to sit in on a meeting, okay, a strategy, marketing meeting, whatever it is, first thing I would say to them, has anyone here been to a baseball game? And I don't know if it's the same thing with you guys in the UK and Norway with football / what we call soccer, or as it is with baseball. And they would say, what's your point? My point is that you're trying to drive away the older fans, but it's the older fans that bring in the younger fans. It's a big tradition in America, at least, where you have the grandfather or the father will take their son or daughter or the family to their first ball game. It's a big moment. You see them sitting side by side. And they show them how to keep score. They show them, they bring their glove in the hopes they're going to catch a foul ball. They buy their hat, everything. That is what we should be striving for, to have the older fans bring in the younger fans. But you guys want to cast aside the older fans and say, we don't want. She even said, Kathleen Kennedy even said, we don't feel the need to cater to male fans. We don't feel
50-year-olds.
We don't feel the need to we don't want 50-year-old fans to come in and spend money. We want we want new fans. I'm like, no, that's not how it works. And probably I would be fired for challenging them. But at the same time, it's like, you know what? Hey, you guys are too stupid to, you can lead a jackass to water, but you can't make him drink, okay? Yeah. If you're too stupid to see what's going on here, because like I said, I used to work at a ballpark. I used to bartend at a ballpark. And you see that scenario played out hundreds of thousands of times. The fathers and son, big father and son moment, bring them to the game. It's not just the little kids. Some fathers go with their teenage sons. Older people bring their dads. It's not exclusively to just sports either. I mean, I keep saying, if I had a kid, I would love them to bring him. This is Captain America. I used to read his comics when I was your age. And Kevin Feige knows this. I mean,
they have that simple, Rob.
Well, still, but you get the idea.
I know what you mean. Yeah, I get the sentiment, but no,
but they are going about it all wrong. Like I said, the state, they have no money. These people don't have any buying power. This is an old marketing idea that we need to cash in on tweens. It's the same idea, and that failed miserably. Everything was geared towards tweens, and it just had this small moment, and then that was it.
Well, I can tell you why that is the idea, though. The idea is to grab them when they're young.
Yeah, it's like cigarettes.
So that they will be hooked for the rest of their life. That is the mentality behind that. So that's why they do it. But the problem is that they've chosen to do it in such a way where you actively alienate and get rid of your existing audience. Now, this is the same thing that we've seen with Star Trek, that they're expecting a new audience to magically manifest out of empty nothingness.
Yeah.
And so far, that hasn't happened.
Yeah. And I mean, I can kind of see what they'll probably go after Katie Sackhoff with. She seems to be on, for the most part, the right side of the think tank over there, but she wasn't vocal enough during the election, I bet is going to be the excuse. Mark my word.
Yeah,
that's what it's going to be. I just looked at her Twitter. She wasn't vocal enough, just like fucking Chris Pratt.
Yeah, Chris
No,
Pratt.
true,
But
that-
she
that
did
is
not
like
make
dirty
one
today, isn't
tweet.
it?
She did not make one tweet in support of Biden. She did all kinds of other tweeting out she'll be able to stand behind. But you just wait. That's going to be the thing they pick on her about.
Yeah,
They're just going to go down the line.
Yeah, everyone's wondering. No, it wasn't Kathleen Kennedy trying to shut me up. That was a robocall. So
No, it's Kathy. We know it. She just sounds like a robot. No, I mean, we all kind of predicted this in a way. I mean, I've been saying I'm right, but no, I hate being right about this because I know this is coming and I know what's next, and it's not going to stop. Because as Mr. H said and Andre said, once they get empowered, they don't stop. As I've been saying for months and years, almost a year now, whatever, we let stupid win, and it's too late. We can't go back now because just like a little kid, once you give in once, they don't understand why you say no the next time, and you're stuck dealing with the tantrum. And that's all these people are going to do is throw tantrums if they don't get their way.
Yep.
Yeah, pretty much. And these tantrums are ironically the ones that Disney appear to be afraid of, not the tantrums of actual paying fans that are now leaving Disney and Disney Plus in droves and ironically subscribing to the Daily Wire instead. Like, who would have thought? I mean, you have to hand it to Ben Shapiro, whether you agree with him politically or not. Like, I have no thoughts in that because, again, I don't get a vote there anyway. But you have to kind of like admire the way that he saw opportunity, went and seized it instantly, and I would like to know how many new subscribers the Daily Wire has gotten. I bet it's a fairly similar number to the people that unsubscribe from Disney+.
Well, I was going to say, we've been hearing, what, tens of thousands?
We were hearing multiple tens of thousands.
I actually heard it was more than that, but again, I didn't want to get too hyperbolic with it either. So, like, I've heard that, and again, this is just me going off of something I heard from somebody. Don't go run into the presses with this, but yeah, like
Latino slant in the chat.
Hey, Paulie, how you doing? We can send him the link. Like, basically what I heard though is that they are getting a lot more phone calls and problems than you would think. This is blowing up.
And diapers and kitty litter.
Yeah, well, see, here's the thing with that is I wonder if they're not trying. I don't know if they're really getting as much of that as they're claiming.
Best cat litter when kitty poops go out and get.
Because as I brought up
kitty's
last
poops.
night, and I believe on the show the other day, I think they're trying to set her up for as a victim.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Oh, they'll play the victim card.
Yeah, set up Kathleen Kennedy as the Star Wars audience is so toxic
She's
and horrible and harassing on Twitter and all that. Yeah.
How
Notice it's conservative fans. It's this. They're trying to labelize and push everybody into this little corner. It's like, see, these are the problem. These fans here. It's like, yes, they're the conservative alt-rights. We don't listen to them. It's like, no, you've got a lot of people in there that are not that, and it's getting to that point where it's getting sickening. Because, I mean, and not to get into the politics bit of it too, but like even, Seth MacFarlane tweeted out yesterday about the whole Muppets deal, and he's like, maybe this is the problem, and this is how we're not getting to the alt-right. It's like, how about just the regulars and the conservatives? Or non-conservative centrists.
Or how about just the regular, ordinary,
that's what I said.
Purple people, which
that's
right
what I said.
now
what about
are
the
being grouped in?
That's what I said.
Right.
That's what I said to him. I retweeted, and I'm like, what about the normies and the centrists and stuff? That's what you got to worry about. Those people aren't even on board with this shit. Well, it's not just secular alt-right that they're trying to paint.
What do I always say, Tom? What do I always say though, Tom? Really, we got a lot of problems in this country, in the world. This is what we're wasting. This is what you're wasting your time on, making sure Gina Carano gets fired. Seriously?
Yeah, but these people don't have jobs, mate. Like they're literally university dropouts. They're sat there. Like that's all they do with their time. You know what the excuse I get is, well, we could focus on more than one thing at a time. I said, yeah, but you're not focused. But I said, but you're not focusing on the things that actually make a difference. Go ask people in Flint, Michigan, if they still have clean water. Seriously, that doesn't solve anything. That doesn't solve any. Making sure Gina Carano is fired off the Mandalorian doesn't make anybody's life better.
Well, it does to these people, and as Max so succinctly points out, for $5, thank you so much, Max. For the mob, it's an addiction. They need their latest fix. With
an
Gina
endorphin
gone,
rush, yeah.
they're looking for the next
Oh,
one.
absolutely.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they get like a high, they get like a rush from this. Like, we did it. We were able to take down that horrible, horrible hater. And
No, and
now
we
we're
can
going to
see
take down
there-
the next one.
and we're starting to see the we knew, but like other people are starting to see the cracks. Gina's interview has well over 2 million views now on the YouTube version, so I can't imagine what the original one is. Things are starting to show, and that's what's bothering a lot of these people is that they wanted this done, and it's they're starting to see that most of the world didn't. And they're kowtowing to just a select few, and it's this Marxist bullshit has got to stop, and that's what it is.
But again, it's not. Here's like the thing: it's not like traditional Marxist either.
No,
it's
it's
something
not.
that's never been before. It's a new radioactive thing, and I was trying to highlight a comment here from someone that said, "Oh yeah, here." Pix Punxsutawney says, "I'm a communist and I hate woke culture." So yeah, you see here you have historically rotten ideas that have been conflated and artificially enhanced to become something truly mind controlling, and it's pretty bad. Yeah, cultural locusts, as Captain Robert Atrill says. And Odo Jang also says, woke is not left or right; it's simply wrong.
Right,
yeah,
and
this
that's
is
what I'm
true.
getting to.
It's basically authoritarianism that has been that's been applied to the or suited for the authoritarian wing of the extreme, currently closest to being in power. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty much that. We have quite a few super chats to go through. And one I can bring up on screen is Crazy Eyed Jedi, who says, "Never had Disney Plus, but signed up for Daily Wire in support of Miss Gina Carano."
Yeah,
I think many did that.
Well, and here's the thing I think that's got to be bugging them most, because the one excuse that she said that they didn't allow her on the press junket and all that shit is because she was taking attention away from the show. Well, now this is not only taking attention away from Mandalorian, it's taking attention away from WandaVision and Disney Plus and everything else. And I'm sure that they're just like scrambling, trying to figure out what to do at this point. And there's not much they can do, because unlike the James Gunn situation, I don't think Gina would come back.
No,
I
don't think she made that tacitly clear that there was a table and she wasn't welcome on it. I think that the only way that she would come back is if the entirety of the Kennedy faction is purged from Lucasfilm, so that the Favreau faction are completely in control. Then I think you could have a conversation, but not before then, because then it would be a table that she would be welcome at. I do think that she would come back for that, for what is right now her signature role. But until then, it'll be excited to see what the Daily Wire has in store for us. And then ActionCom said for $10, thank you so much. Andre, remember in Cobra Kai when Kreese said, "It's addition by subtraction"? That's what they're doing with the Mando audience. If they can change it to something more woke, it's a win. Yeah, I think that's what the Kennedy faction is trying to do with the Star Wars audience as a whole. The Mando audience, I think they want to just try to eradicate, because the Mandalorian is not something that Kennedy controls or ever will control. So I think that they just want to see everything that Favreau has something to do with just go away. That's my thoughts. What are your guys' thoughts on that, Mr. H?
Well, tactically, I don't really understand what I don't understand what the end game is, quite frankly, because ultimately, like some kind of spite or something like that. Maybe it's difficult to say, because they've clearly been successful with it, and they've also announced a whole new string of shows off the back end of it. And that's a universe established, quite frankly,
Favreau.
only because of Favreau. But that's what I mean. Yeah. So going around trying to attack that sort of You know,
And
everyone
what
involved in
Favreau
it,
is
things
doing
like that.
undermines what Kennedy is doing with the High Republic initiative.
Well, yeah, I mean, we knew that because they bloody released it in the dumping ground of January, didn't they? Like, well, that was the dumping ground as for movies and similar with bloody books.
The other side of this, Mr. H, is the individuals that are responsible for a lot of this shit. It's like Andre's video that he did about the restaurant analogy is exactly what's going on here. When they use words like the right side of history and all that stuff, those who are clearly like brainwashed and not so much the masterminds, they really do truly think they're on the right side of history. They really do truly think they're doing something noble. And they're just going to get this pushback because, you know, that's the way the hippies had it, you know, and all that kind of stuff. So that's just normal. It comes with the territory, right? No. And what really burns and chaps their ass even more is when Gina goes out and trailblazes the way that she actually is, she's doing something they could never do. Like, that's the thing is they all want to be Rosa Parks. They all want to be Martin Luther King, and they can't because there already was one. And when you like are obsessed with doing that with your like that's what they're obsessed with. They have this like thing that eventually someday they're going to be written about in the history books, and it's like no,
the history books of how much of a pain in the ass they all were.
Well, no, it's like that's the thing is Gina is literally making history right now, and I don't care how people think how hyperbolic I sound. I'm not being hyperbolic.
I agree.
That nobody has ever fucking done before and lived to tell the tale. And that is stand up to Mickey Mouse. And not only that, flip the bird and say, guess what? I'm going to fucking go make my own with hookers and fucking blackjack, and you can kiss my ass.
Mickey Mouse, I like that.
Yeah. Well, and the other problem is that the people that follow them are fucking clueless. And this is the thing I was talking about earlier. I think we're late enough in the show to show this because there are some sensitive words in this a little bit, folks. But I think the point is sound. This just shows the youth of America and how fucking disconnected they are.
Who are Gen Z? Just what are they?
Yeah, this is okay. I don't know the exact of this, but what I'm guessing is happening here is this is a new teacher or a substitute teacher sitting in on a history class, and he streamed this out. Okay, these are obviously like teenagers, probably
right,
somewhere between 13 and whatever. But here you go. Listen to this shit.
Helen Keller is the Nazi guy.
No. What Nazi guy?
I don't know. He's like a terrorist.
Helen Keller is a Nazi terrorist that is a male. Is that what you're telling me right now?
Yeah, I'm gonna write Helen Keller up here. Yeah. Right? No.
Are you thinking of Hitler?
Who's Hitler? Who's Hitler?
Who is Hitler?
Helen Keller was the blind and deaf person who was fake. She didn't exist, but everyone believes she was deaf and blind.
What? She was fake?
Yeah, she was deaf and blind.
What Pearl Harbor was, if I say Pearl Harbor.
Is that a bridge?
Dude.
Do you know what D-Day is?
Who?
D-Day.
A person? A rapper?
Are you being...
Wait. Helen Keller is the Nazi guy.
No.
What Nazi guy?
I don't know. He like.
Fuck me.
Oh, for God's sake.
That's the youth of America, folks.
Mm-hmm. They're going to be taking care of us in our old age.
No, they won't. But, yeah.
You're right. They won't be.
It's not their fault.
They'll still be tweeting.
It's not their fault. It's what it is.
Just as a heads up, though, like it's often been joked about across the world how stupid Americans are, and I'm not trying to offend anyone in the chat, but it is often joked about because I remember when I was growing up, people were, there used to be like a thing that went around saying, "Oh, American kids don't know that milk comes from cows." They were genuinely shocked at that. This is just that to the extreme. Like, how the fuck? Like, you should be ashamed of yourselves. This is
what the problem
ridiculous.
Is, Mr. H? It is because they have driven out every single teacher who actually teaches reality. And they bring in these teachers who believe this woke bullshit, and this is where they get this crap from.
But
yeah. That's a little bit beyond the scope of this channel, but
no, but that's the end of. That's
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. That's the end game. That's
That's why these people are so easily led, is because they're uneducated.
Well, they're just idiots, aren't they?
Yeah, and I've told my kid the same thing. It's like, you kids, you make no sense to me. How can you be so ignorant when you have every single fucking answer you could ever need in the palm of your hand?
Literally, just tap your phone, mate. You get everything there, like, seriously.
And that's a huge problem because that's all I will say about this. But that alone is a huge problem, because in doing maths, in actually doing the calculus yourself, what happens then is that you train the logic pathways
Right.
of your brain. And if you just look at like scientific progress, the last 100 years, the peak was like in the 50s and 60s.
Absolutely.
I mean, seriously, like
Space
today,
race.
just look at the space race. Like Elon Musk, he is right now having to reinvent the stuff that they already did in the 50s and 60s.
Yeah.
The Saturn V remains to this day the single most powerful rocket ever made. That was Werner von Braun's rocket, the one that he sent people to the moon. And of course, I say him, but it was a joint effort. But he was like the project leader for it. We can't build that today. I mean, like NASA, they've been like spending the last 20 years or so making this new SLS rocket that's going to be basically the same thing as the Saturn V, and they still can't make the thing work. And you had it working perfectly in the 60s. I mean, it had a 0% success rate. Look at I think it was the X-15, the rocket plane that they used in the 50s. That to this day is the fastest plane that ever flew. There's no plane since that has gone faster than that. It was like up in Mach 7, Mach 8. It literally flew beyond the edge of space. There's not a single plane today that can do that. Just look at go even further. Look, for instance, at the fields of quantum mechanics. They did all kinds of exciting development up until the 70s, and since then they've been focusing on like supersymmetry. And it's dead. It's a complete dead end. Large Hadron Collider killed it. Like Leonard in the Big Bang Theory was right. The whole field is at an end. So they don't know what to do.
Well, you want a more practical example? Look at the auto industry. The U.S. auto industry is a mess. I mean, yeah, okay, we sell a lot of trucks, but you can't sell a truck, a V8 truck in a country where gas is $11 a gallon.
Well, no, and Andre is right though. Go ahead. Sorry, Rob.
Like I said, the rest of the world, like, you have companies like Volkswagen, Toyota, and and whatever, they're and BMW and Mercedes, they over-engineer cars, and here we're still building trucks on body on frames designed from the 1930s.
No, but Andre was right, because I actually read an article where they were talking about not only are a lot of the people that are working in NASA and all these other space fields uneducated. The technology that they used to use has outdated itself and overlapped, and they never backed anything up or updated anything. So now they've lost everything, almost everything they had for so they've had to restart from scratch almost.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That is what Elon Musk is doing. He has to redo everything they did in the 60s. And of course, I see some complain in the chats. Yeah, we have smartphones and stuff like that. Absolutely, we do have that.
Those are results of that movement, though.
But it's like 1,000 people on the planet that knows how to make them. And if you look beyond the smartphones and all of the stuff related to that, really, there's not been a lot of breakthroughs the last few decades.
No, you're right, because the computers we're using now are just basically based back in that era. Like, all that stuff has just been updated over time. We should be way beyond that by now. That's the problem. You're right. We've gone stagnant at some point. The only thing that advanced was our phones and computers, but that was predicted way back then.
Yeah.
Yeah, so and we should have been there already in the 80s, probably. Like, we're
and again, that came from the quantum mechanics of the 70s. And on something much nicer, Marty says for 50 Canadian dollars, thank you so much. Have a round on me, guys. That ridiculous video is where the rejection of objectivism takes a society. The same thing that is killing education and political discourse is also killing entertainment and art. That is the rejection of objectivity. Yes, you are so right. And this is the same thing that Gina Carano said in her interview, that she was like told by like these Disney crisis disaster people that, oh, these people, they react emotionally. So we have to respond emotionally to them by having you suffer and be scolded by 40 people so we can take videos of it and tweet it on. I'm like, that's completely ridiculous. That's not how it works at all. Like, you don't.
That's how children operate.
Yeah.
And that's where I think she was saying, like, I realized that, that I thought the grown-ups were running the show, and then I realized I'm the adult in the room. Like, I know that moment she's talking about. I've been in those situations. It's like where you're sitting there and you're like, wait a minute, I thought I was the ignorant person here, and I was no, I'm the actual fucking adult in this room right now. That sucks. I know that feeling. But on a good note, or at least maybe it's a good note, do you want to see what He-Man He-Man's going to look like in the new children's animated series?
Well, I was thinking of running through a few more super chats first, but since you have it, then bring it.
We can do this, and then you can do super chats, and then we can get into our next topic.
Yeah, okay.
Actually,
yeah, there we go.
Do it now. No, that's not it.
That's the new kids version. Yes.
That's
from the
that's the 3D one for the kids. I'm happy with that, given that it's for kids.
Horrible.
But it's for kids.
I don't care. That looks trash. The animation's garbage. How can you say that looks good? It looks like no. It looks like Fortnite, for God's sake. That is not good. Give the kids something actually good to look at. This animation is garbage tier. This is lazy animation. It looks like Fortnite.
I agree with the Fortnite thing. I actually would have preferred it to look something.
I don't like the proportions. Yeah,
I would have preferred it to look like something that's on Disney Junior or on Nick Junior, like one of those shows, that it looked more like smooth, slick animation like that. I agree with you. Like, it's fine for a video game. The designs are okay, but the execution of the animation is like, yeah, it's too Fortnite, too video game graphics. I can't see too many kids because when I look at that, I can't see too many kids being that also can choose between Blaze and the Monster Machines and Umi Sumi and all the other stuff that it's competing against. I can't see them going with that style of animation.
Hate it.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of it.
But again, it's not for us. But it has to bring in like a new generation of kids, and with that design, I worry that it's not going to do that.
It could be worse. It could be like the Ninja Turtles or Thundercats. I will give it that, but yeah, I agree with Mr. H. It's kind of leaning more towards that Fortnite CGI.
Someone said it's a toy. That's not a toy. That's a picture. That is a picture of the animation. It's a render of the
animation. It's a teaser image. A teaser image of the toys for the yet to be revealed.
So yeah, but that's not actually a toy. That is a 3D render. So
that's
what it looks like to me. Yeah.
Well, then we still have the hope then that the animation doesn't have to look like this.
Oh, fucking I don't know.
I'm pretty sure that's how the model's going to look, though.
Yeah, well, as long as the animation looks like more fluid, like Blaze in the Monster Machine style, then we got something. But if the animation looks like that, then yeah, it's not going to be a big hit, I think.
Well, I will not be buying that.
I wasn't going to buy it anyway, but
I would love to. No, I would love to buy a brand new If there's good He-Man figures out there, I would buy them. I would.
Oh, you have like the Mattel collection, Tom. What's it called again? The one with the
classics.
Yeah, I have to get me some of those.
I'll send you some. I can get them.
Yeah.
The only ones I've been having trouble finding are the newer ones. I haven't been able to find Many Faces or the other new one that came out. I can't remember which one it was now. I got all the first ones, though. He-Man and Skeletor and Beastman, Teela, Evelyn, Man-at-Arms, Battle-Cat. I got those so far, but I haven't found there's a couple other new ones that just came out. And they got Battle Armor He-Man as well. Just came out. See, those are selling pretty good as far as I can tell. So I have a feeling the Kevin Smith one is going to really, really look a lot more like the classic Filmation version, just probably a little bit more updated.
Yeah, that's what we've always been told, so it better.
If it doesn't, then we riot.
Well, I had that one picture that I have no idea if it was legit or not, but somebody claimed it was from the Kevin Smith series, and it looked good.
Yeah, we've seen that picture. I've showed it to you as well, Mr. H. I hope that's legit, because if it is, then
that
we're
was
in
good.
hands. That was really good. So I hope that that's what that was.
So anyway, let's get back to the earlier super chats.
Yes, let's get into the earlier super chats.
And then we got some more news.
Yeah. Stephanie Yanisek's Smuggler's Cantina says, if she is forced out, then she will play the victim card. That's what they're doing. They're setting that up. Yeah, I think so too. And Cultured Casino says, hey, Culture, Daily Wire is growing. Disney looking worse daily. Honestly, I hope so. And also, everyone, be sure to check out Cultured Casino stream on Tuesday. I regret that I wasn't able to be there yesterday, but yeah, do check out that every Tuesday, because you never know who might pop up. And Christian Coralejo says for $5, who would you replace the Bobs with? And is there any chance of Disney bringing back Gina just to give Cara Dune a proper send-off in The Mandalorian?
No chance.
Yeah. H, let's hear your take on this. You already said there's no chance, but
no, there is no chance. With? Who do I replace what with? Sorry.
Yeah, the Bobs.
The what?
Yeah, Bob's Chapek and Bob's Iger. If there are anyone that stands out to replace them with.
Well, there's no one. No, I don't know really. There's no one high up that I think would be particularly good at that who would want to. I mean, the go-to, I guess, would probably be Kevin Feige, but he would never do it because he likes to be the man on the ground.
If he had full control, I bet he would.
No, I still don't think he would, though, because he wouldn't inevitably wouldn't actually ever have full control, because he'd still, at that level, yes, you have full control, you sign off on stuff, but he's not there on the ground doing stuff.
Kevin Feige would never do that. No way. He would never take on the role of Bob Chapek, because that's no longer, then Marvel is the last thing.
Give it to Elon Musk.
Then he'd be managing the parks and every single part of the business and operation. Tom and Rob, do you want to quick? Who would you replace them with? Is there a person that springs to mind?
Well, Feige would be good like in 20 years.
There was a guy. Let me see what he's doing these days. There was a guy.
Elon Musk. Elon Musk. Elon Musk.
There was a guy who used to run Madison Square Garden. A guy by the name of Dave Checketts. Smart guy. I mean, he turned Madison Square Garden into a money-making machine. And he went on to go on to. He was on the board. He's on the board of directors of JetBlue. He was the CEO of Legends Hospitality. If I had my choice, I mean, the guy knows how to put together an organization, and he knows how to put together an organization that does things right and it's efficient and makes money. But at the same time, he knows enough to put the right people in the right positions. So if I would if I were Disney, I would try to get Dave Checketts on board in some capacity.
Yeah, Rob, that's actually a really good idea. What I would do, I cannot say a name, but I can say some qualities that is needed. I would look for CEOs from other companies like that you mentioned right now, but someone who has experience in taking a company that has gone a little bit off the rails and taking them back to their core business. Just imagine like Kitchen Nightmares with Gordon Ramsay, a CEO who does that. There are CEOs like out there who go from assignment to assignment to do that. Disney needs a fixer like that who will take things back to the core and make it work for today. That's what Disney needs.
But the other thing they need someone who's going to be fearless, because Kathy's going to be throwing her weight around. She's like, I'm Kathy Kennedy. Do you know who I am? You need someone to say, I don't care who you are.
Any CEO who has a position like that is going to be that, because otherwise they wouldn't be able to get that kind of CEO experience. And for that, you need an experienced CEO who has done this several times before and who is used to taking things back to the core and to getting back to the identities of the core business. And any such CEO who has done that and has a proven track record in that will not be afraid of subordinates.
I don't think there's anyone that's done that though in the film industry.
Like I said, a guy like Dave Checketts, he's had to deal with
the film industry. Go beyond. Go to the car industry, sports industry, even chef industry. Go outside. You do not have anyone in the film industry who can do it. I think you'd have to go outside and get new blood.
Because, like I said, you're going to have to
Elon
Musk. Well, like I said,
not Elon Musk.
Someone like Dave Checketts, or even like Scott Boras, who deals with like superstar athletes on a daily basis. Guys who come in, they say, "Do you know who I am? Yeah, I know who you are. You know what? I don't care. You know, you're going to sit down. You're going to be quiet, and you're going to do what I say, because this is bigger than you. Okay." That's what you need. You need someone who's going to be fearless in getting her face and getting people's faces. I don't care who you are. You know, you don't like the way I run things. There's the door. Get out.
And to get back on program, we have some super chats we can show on screen. And in reference to the video that we showed before, PRRK4 Pacific says for $5, gas hose video is not fake. I did it once, sorry to say. I did hear a loud pop and went back though. Also, I am not a woman. LOL. Yeah, no, that's true. Like anyone, even men, and completely regardless of gender, anyone can have an off moment and forget something vital one should not be forgetting. So that's completely gender neutral.
Well, so I'm a car guy. If anyone, follows me on my channel and knows anything about me, I'm a car guy, and I've had fairly all right sports cars and things like that. And I accidentally, I stayed awake all night and inadvertently just completely put the wrong gas in my car, in my tuned sports car.
Oh, amazing. And, I bet the car loved that.
Well, so amazingly, I caught it after it probably, put in maybe, 15 litres or so a fair amount. So I caught it, and then I topped it up with 99 octane, and then ran the car on a 95 octane map, because the car was supposed to run on a 99 octane map anyway. But I was like, right, well, if I jump up the octane with 99 octane from the diesel, and because that's what I put in it.
So you put diesel in it?
Yeah, I put diesel in it, and then topped it up with 99 octane. And then ran it on a 95 octane tank. Yeah, it actually ran fine, to be fair.
Yeah.
Never had any issue with that at all.
Yeah. No, the issue is if you actually put because diesel in a gasoline car, as long as you don't put too much, that doesn't have to work out too bad. It's if you put gasoline in a diesel car, then that's a completely different matter.
It has a different ignition system. That's why.
Yeah,
the way the fuel ignites is completely different.
Yeah. And I have some word of advice to anyone out there who's done that. If you happen to do that and your car just stops, you're fine. You just have to change your filter and everything, and then you're fine and you're to go. If you can hear that the engine is in pain, get a new car, because there's no
sound. It'll be a knock, that's why. A knock.
We also have a new guest, Polly from Latinos Land. ¿Qué tal?
Hey, aquí nomás, ¿todo bien? ¿Qué tal ustedes?
Oui, sí, señor.
Todo bien.
Todo bien? Sorry,
Andre,
I
how
got
many
here
languages
late.
Andre, how many languages do you speak? You speak obviously Norwegian and English, but
Spanish.
Spanish apparently.
Well, I don't. I speak a bit of Spanish. I understand like 80%, but I can't claim that I speak Spanish.
Yeah.
Of languages that I have like some knowledge of, 6.
Oh wow.
Any Dutch?
I not directly, but by virtue of being Norwegian and knowing a little bit of German, I can go far in Dutch.
The only
Huurgandinger?
That's like how is it or something like that.
Close enough.
Yeah, who sounds like how's it hanging almost.
How's things?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
The best I could do is tell someone how to go fuck themselves in Italian, which comes in pretty handy, believe it or not.
Yeah, I can well believe that.
Hmm.
So yeah. So Paulie, I've been following the discussion. What are your thoughts on before we get back to super chat? Since we have you here, what's how excited are you to see the stands take down Rosario Dawson?
How excited am I? I'm just baffled, man. I'm baffled, because this is a in Rosario as a vet from the left who walks the walk of her principles. Whether I agree or not, I respect that she's always been in the trenches for most of her career. And then, even the other day she was in Texas helping raise money and passing out food and water. I mean, this person's she lives her principles. So I just don't get it, man. I don't get it. And I'm curious to see the wall that they will go up against. Just her allies alone. But we'll see. Maybe they might turn her back. I don't know. Yeah, there's a lot to unfold. And Rosario is no Gina Carano. She's when I say that, she's a vet from the left. She's comes from that whole, she put the social justice, you could say, in that whole thing. So this is one of their own. So vas a ver.
Yeah, indeed. But again, that's not stopped anyone. For one thing, on that particular side of the political aisle, even Obama was complaining about the circular firing squad. And on top of that, I think a lot of this is driven straight from the Lucasfilm offices that are deliberately targeting the opposition, which would be Favreau and all of Favreau's projects. And taking down Rosario Dawson would really put a damper on that whole Ahsoka Tano series, wouldn't it?
I mean, I want to see those emails. Those are going to get out. The text. Yeah, I mean, you really think that there is that civil war going on?
Oh yeah, absolutely. We have that on good authority from multiple sources, independent of each other.
What was that, Tom? Fuck.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
It's Gremlins.
I got mail
in the system. Okay, cool, very cool.
Just Tom creeping on camera. Look what I've got.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, brilliant.
Hello
great
to everyone else on the panel.
What's happening?
I was I got invited, but I was in the middle of cooking, so I wanted to make sure I ate so I could not pass out. But I had a good breakfast, so that's good.
Yeah, well, glad to hear it.
Yeah.
How were things? How were things in LA this Thursday morning?
The weather's nice. It's been nice and warm. The sun is out, and we walk the dogs. I mean, you guys know Cameron Pasha?
Oh yes, absolutely.
Yes, sir.
He's coming over tomorrow, so I'm looking forward to hanging out.
Oh,
with him.
cool, very cool.
Yeah.
No, we are good friends with Cameron, so you have to tell him we say hi.
Indeed, I will. Yeah.
And on that note, Celador says there's a civil war at Lucasfilm for the future of Lucasfilm. Its very existence under threat. Its future at stake. KK faction destroying the joint. That's honestly kind of what it looks like a little bit, isn't it? So it should be interesting to see what's going on with that. So Natasha is sharing the link to Latino's Land where Commandant Pasha is going to appear. So everyone should check that out.
Yeah, let me just clarify. He's already been on the show. He's coming over. We're gonna go have coffee, walk the dogs, and hang out. Because you had asked me about how's LA. It's like, we're trying to see our friends in person. We're trying to not be so disconnected from each other. But he's not going to be on the Latino Slant. We're just going to be hanging out.
You have to tell Commandant hi from Stephanie as well. So.
I will. Absolutely. I think we're trying to do an LA meetup with soon with hopefully Mexican Iron Man and maybe Gary, the Southern California, contingent.
Yeah, awesome. If only there was such a thing last time I was in LA. But hey, next time.
La próxima.
2030. So.
Right.
You need to get your ass to the UK first. You owe me some of the Norwegian booze, man. I do. So
as soon as you open your borders, I shall bring you some Norwegian linjeakevitt. It's a promise.
Deal.
But we have quite a few more super chats to go through. So I'm just gonna go through them. Master Clockwork said, "Every High Republic protagonist, young with unique quirk, making them special, and isn't just the bestest ever, but puts the old masters in their place." Yeah, that sounds about right. That sounds like the Star Wars for this generation, whose general educational level we just saw presented in video, doesn't it? And then Mike NYC says, "My dad's love of Star Trek, the original series, led to my love of The Next Generation, and I like the original series. That's how you make a new audience." Indeed. And Mr. Tickletrunk says, "Twitter is the modern, but will get letters." Yeah, sounds like it. Andrew says, "On Bill Burr's podcast today, The Bill Burr Show, they talked on the show about Gina's situation and cancel culture issues." Oh, I shall have to check that out. And Mr. Tickletrunk just wanted to say, because it's good to reiterate that this chat has so many intelligent, funny, and good-natured people in it. This is why I'm here. Indeed, I cannot say how much I appreciate the chat there. And we really try to pay attention to and highlight significant messages as often as we can. But I really value the community we got here. And also the panel and everyone that helps all of this be what it is. Anthony Arriba says, "I give Disney 3 to 5 years. They will file Chapter 11. They're not too big to fail, are they? And Super Nate says, "Spider-Man No Way Home title just got revealed by Sony." Is that the title? No Way Home?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's the official title.
Well, there we go. We knew it was going to be something. Home.
I just saw that.
Home trilogy.
I saw that news item as well just about 10 minutes ago.
Right, well, thanks for letting us know, Super Nate. And Spider Unlimited said, "Black Sabbath said it best. If you listen to fools, the mob rules." Indeed. And Mags, obviously in reference to the kitty talk later on. "I knew you guys were joking. I was laughing with you. Sorry, I make fun of blondes too, as a blonde." Yeah, it's all in good humor. So we just want to make sure that none of our audience is unintentionally offended by anything that we might say that might come across as crass when we take on cat ladies and stuff like that. We're not talking about you, but you all know that. And Adrian Nazaruk says, or actually sends a little doggy super sticker for £2. So thanks for that. Thunderstorm says, "Is there anything to Favreau working with Daisy Ridley and her character Rey?" I have never heard anything about that. Have you guys heard anything about Favreau working with Daisy Ridley?
Nope.
No, I haven't, but she did say something funny the other day. You know how when everybody's been asked if they're coming back to Star Wars, like what's his face said, yeah, if I need a house, maybe, and like I'm sure, like what's his face,
Oscar Isaac.
Oscar Isaac,
Oscar Isaac, yeah.
Oscar Isaac said that, and then Adam Driver, I'm sure he'd punch somebody if they asked him.
Hey, real quick, I'm sorry, Tom.
No, go ahead.
It's not my birthday. I don't know why people are in the chat are saying happy birthday, but
Not sure.
if I said something, I don't think I did, or typed something incorrect, it is not my birthday. Thanks, though.
That would have been a funny joke, though. But anyway, what was I saying now?
Oh, sorry.
You were saying
Daisy Ridley, funny.
Oh, Daisy Ridley. Yeah, she was saying
something funny.
she was asked if she would ever come back to play Rey again, and she said never say never, or some shit like that, or you never know kind of thing. So yeah, maybe there's something to it, but I doubt it. I don't really see them going back to that era at all without it being just like a little, like what if cartoon or something.
Or retconning it or something like that. So yeah, I wouldn't put any stock in that until more evidence of it is presented.
You don't think KK would give one final middle finger to the fans by doing something with Rey? No.
Oh,
absolutely.
absolutely she would, but that wasn't the question. Is Favreau doing it?
No, yeah, that I don't really see anything.
Okay, sorry,
I
I misunderstood the questions.
Yeah,
and there's also some other story going around that George Lucas is supposedly writing on Cassio Andor. As best I can tell, I don't think that's true. His name is attached to everything Star Wars for characters, and the way I think people are misunderstanding the way the IMDb is set up, because they only have listings for like the first 2 episodes or whatever, so people are thinking that's why it's, yeah, I don't think that's true. It could be, but I doubt it. And again, if they're going to bring him back to write anything, why the hell would it be Casio keyboard?
Who the hell is looking for? Honestly, can be looking forward to Casio keyboard there. I mean, it's a dumb idea for a series. You know that the character just has to live long enough so he gets killed in Rogue One.
I mean, I did hear
the first season isn't even going to feature the robot.
Right.
That was the reason left to see it.
The only reason,
yeah. And not for nothing, if you're gonna, Alan Tudyk is doing fantastic in Resident Alien. If you haven't seen it, check it out. I mean, he's fantastic in it.
Well, and again, like I've heard rumors that he has been working on something, but I heard it was a movie, not a show. And the only other rumors we've heard was he was poking around with Obi-Wan, but that was way back when. And again, like of all the shows that if he was going to have anything to do with, that's the one I would think it would be. I don't know what you guys think, but
yeah, well, we'll just have to wait and see. But we also have a few more super chats. Brett Cohen said for $20 Australian. Thank you so much. Branding business model is ages old, and the new technocracy wants a perpetual higher rental model due to longer-term profits overall than a once-off buy. It's why they're after the teens, so they lock into the brand now. Yeah, that's the general idea. But
get them while they're young.
But you're supposed to keep the old ones you already have.
keep them on the treadmill. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And sent us a diamond super sticker, so thanks for that.
Thank you.
And Troy Pacelli says, Iger needs to either get rid of Kennedy or step down and let her take over already. Shit, or get off the pot. Yeah.
You know what?
There's something to that.
Yeah. Hey, Kathy, you think you're so smart? Go ahead. Run the whole company. Let's see how well you do.
She needs 2 people to do her job as it is.
And then Stephanie Yanis ex Smugglers Cantina says again, Kennedy's orchestrating this thing. Yeah, that's what I think too. Mexican Iron Man says for $15. Muchas gracias, amigo. Hail Midnight's Edge and the great Mr. H. I just love how KK didn't pay $1 for Star Wars. Disney bought it. Yet, KK thinks this subsidiary of a public traded company is her personal corporation. Yeah, that's some pretty heavy arrogance right there. Oslek says, Republic Commando re-releasing. KK Damage Control. I have no idea what Republic Commando is. Is that like a High Republic thing?
It's a shooter. It's a game. It's a video game.
Okay. Is it on the Sega Mega Drive?
No, it's not on the Sega Mega Drive.
Well, that's why I don't know it, evidently. So, yeah. And Mr. Tickletrunk says for 10 Canadian dollars, they don't seek to destroy anything good. They destroy anything that is against the ideology. After that, anything simply not the ideology. Poke holes in their power. You're destroyed. This won't stop. Yeah, kind of. I wish you were wrong, but you're not. Christopher Tock says for $2, throwing my $2 in. Thanks for the stream. Oh, thank you. And Ray J's World says this reverse McCarthy hearing move is messed up. These stands parents need to take their internet away from them, then forced to stay outside. Yeah, I think that's a little bit too much internet parenting is partially at fault here.
Well, don't you know it's our jobs to teach their kids?
Well, that's why we try to do a good job at it, trying to teach some critical thinking skills.
But yeah.
But yeah, well, I think that by the time they come to us, it's too late. But again, that's why we always emphasize that critical thinking and bigger picture. That's important things in life. And Mags says for $5, Disney Lucasfilm set the precedent with Gina. They made the bed with them, and now they have to lie in it. Yeah, so true. Adrian Nazaruk says, hey guys, why do you think that no one from the top of Disney hasn't tried to sort this Lucasfilm mess out and bring down the hammer on them? Yeah, why do you think that Disney corporate hasn't done anything? Why do we have all this madness coming from Lucasfilm and Lucasfilm only?
Because I don't think they can do anything.
Yeah, but Mr. H, I want to hear what you have to say. Why hasn't Disney struck down?
Well, we already know that from PR agencies and things like that who have publicly stated it in articles that they want to appease the left. They know who these people are. They are the left. So the wider part of it is that they don't want to. They don't see the bigger picture here. That's why. I mean, I can't. There's no other logical explanation for it. We know from insiders that they want, but it's not. It's important. It's not even just this one, is it? There was a person in that other article, or was this the same individual that said that? Someone? Anyone?
That said what specifically?
Yeah, this
quote. Looking at quote that was in the article, or
yeah, this is from the THR article. Yeah,
right. Okay. Well, anyway, so if THR can print something like this, because the problem is people see Weinstein's spokesman and then they go, oh, this is whatever, this guy has no credibility. So it's important to note that, remember, THR printed it, a quote from this chap here. They want to appease the left. They want to do that. They don't want to upset them. So why Disney haven't done it is simply because it would upset them. It's not what they think is in their best interest at this point in time. They're a business at the end of the day, and they're going to do things based on financial decisions. They haven't seen the financial wrath that will eventually come from it. That's all I can think of. And I know, I still think ultimately, it's wrong, but that's the only logical explanation, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, and to be fair, this guy no longer works for Disney, as far as I know. But yeah, I mean, and I did talk to him on a podcast, and basically what he's doing is telling us the truth: is that this is the way the studios are run. They go off a leftist agenda, and they want to appease the left. I don't know why they got in this mindset. I don't know why the media got in this mindset, but it's gone too far. Especially when you have the situations we're running into with Gina and and all these other people who've been canceled in the last few years for no good reason. It's just getting insane, and it starts with like something like politics, but I think it goes much deeper. And when it comes to Kathleen Kennedy at Star Wars, well, I think they've done everything they can do. I think that George put her in her place with such an ironclad situation that they couldn't do much, and that's why Bob Iger had to basically come in and do her job. That's why they have two other people in there doing her job. And I've said before, I think she's more like a satellite mom. She's never really there. And the proof is kind of in the pudding with that. And, as soon as The Mandalorian was a hit, well, of course, then she's like, well, yeah, this is my baby now. And she's throwing the baby out with the bathwater at the moment.
Yeah. Paulie, anything you feel like adding to that?
No. I mean, I'm just, between her being, I don't know how really coherent and capable she is just as doing her job nowadays. Like you said, if she's a satellite, that makes sense. And then with that latest hire, the Gupta lady, is that
Gupta,
yeah, Sengupta. Yeah.
Momita
Sengupta. She's another one doing basically the same job as Michelle Rejwan, hence doing the same job that KK should be doing.
Yeah, pretty much. Rob, anything you want to add to that?
Not really. No.
All right. Then, moving on. So
before we do move on, though, Mr. H does have to leave us.
Yes, yeah. Sorry, ladies.
Which sucks because I did have this next part coming up here that I thought I wanted to hear about the whole Disney Plus thing. But otherwise, do take care of yourself, and hopefully we'll have you back again.
Yes, no, absolutely. I've got a meeting and then get ready for my own stream. Actually, that's why, unfortunately. Otherwise, I'll end up passing out. But no, thank you for having me. Thank you, everyone in the chat. You've been great, good community here. So thank you so much.
All right,
appreciate it.
Check out Mr. H's channel. You may enjoy it.
And Jesse Miller just sent
to see you, Mr. H.
Or Mr. H. Let's see if we can get to that first then. Before you go out, let me see if I can find that real quickly. Because Mr. Krausnest sent you one before you run. Just give me a second. I'll see if I can find it here. I just have to go through the lot looking for. Yes, here. Jesse Miller at the Crow's Nest said, Mr. H, I am a proud American, and I am the first to get in line to say Americans have become troglodytes.
Yeah, I saw that one actually when he posted it.
Yeah, and I know Jesse personally, and when he says that he's a proud American, he's not kidding. He'll punch somebody in the face if they say something bad about Americans. I've almost had to bail his ass out of jail a couple times.
Oh dear. Right. Anyway, cheers, ladies and gents. Peace out.
Take care.
Bye.
All right, take care. Right, and then moving on from there.
As he said, damn right.
Yes, then we have Nicholas Horton, and we owe Nicholas Horton a thanks, because this is what he said before. Tom, sent a link in your Twitter DMs. It's a teaser image for what the toys for Masters of the Universe will look like, the upcoming one for kids.
Yes,
so
well,
thank you, Nicholas Horton, for sending us that. We talked about that already. We're just a little bit behind on Super Chats, as you can hear, but thanks for sharing that with us. And then Crass Socks said for $20. Thank you so much. Hail. Yes, indeed. Hail one, hail all. Sleepy Panda sent us 99 European cents with no message, so either it was just support or the question got removed, but thanks in any event. And Thunderstorm says, no Grogu, I got a bad feeling about this. Yeah, how would I have to tell you, no Grogu and no Cara Dune? That's when you should get a bad feeling. And Phantom Timo says, you guys and the Realm Cast are my favorite podcasts right now. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. We really appreciate that.
I want to say one thing about the Grogu thing, though. Like, that was kind of my first kind of pause, because I'm like, how are they going to get rid of Baby Yoda? Like, you can't. He's the heart of the show. And to me, that was kind of like the first sign that something was up. And again, I'm just speculating here, but my guess is that Kathy's like, yeah, we need to get the baby out of the show. It's called The Mandalorian, not Baby Yoda. And they're like, all right, we'll do that. And they're like, but we're going to have to give him to Luke. And she's like, yeah, whatever, without even thinking of the ramifications it was going to have.
Quite possibly, but now getting rid of Carano, like if Baby Grogu was the heart, then Cara Dune was the kidneys. So not.
Well, she was the soul
right now.
She was the soul of the show.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So yeah, and
she wasn't even in it that much, but she had much more soul than Pedro.
Well, to be fair, he didn't have much chance being locked up behind the helmet and everything like that. But in terms of like on-screen charisma and what was allowed for by the role, yeah, it absolutely was.
I'm going to call bullshit on that.
No,
I'm
no,
gonna
no.
call
But listen,
bullshit on that. Oh, go ahead. Finish.
this is why Favreau hired her to begin with, to be her. She was
Oh, I
supposed
think
to
the
be
character
like the
was
light of
written
the
for
screen.
her.
Yeah,
I
it
honestly
was.
think it was.
No, it
And-
was. We know this. There were no one else called this.
And
It
I'll
was
call
written
bullshit
for
on
her.
Pedro because you know what? Darth Vader is known as one of the greatest villains of all time. And that's two guys making that character happen. And a big part of that is James Earl Jones's voice, right?
It's kind of a different setup.
No, I don't think it is. I think it's exactly the same in this situation. Pedro couldn't make it happen through the fucking mask, then it's his fault. Because I can buy James Earl Jones as the greatest villain of all time, even though I never got to see his face.
Yeah, but here's the thing, though. He's supposed to be the greatest villain of all time. He's written to be iconic, right? The Mandalorian, whatever the character's name is, he's just another run-of-the-mill Mandalorian. When he speaks, not everyone has to listen. Yeah, but that's how the character is. He's just one Mandalorian out of 1,000. But that's a problem with the show. But that's not the problem of Pedro Pascal. I mean, you can have many arguments against him, but not that particular one. Because if you could have Carl Urban, who made Dredd really come alive, right? But listen, that's a completely different setup and movie and all of that. If you had Carl Urban in this particular role, and if he was behind the mask and he did exactly the same thing and he had exactly the same lines, could he have made the character come alive any more than Pedro Pascal is? I'm not so sure.
I am, because I've been trained as an actor. Pedro's good as an actor, but I don't think he's good in this role.
Oh, he's a fantastic actor, but the setup is different because Darth Vader was never the lead, and we didn't follow him. We didn't follow him.
That's my point exactly, though. Is his presence overstepped that? That's my point.
Yeah, but he
but that presence
James Earl Jones
in there.
His performance is his voice, so he made Darth what he is. Pedro is not a voice actor. I think Pedro signed up and was like, oh, I'm going to be in this thing.
I think the fact that we all have said he could be replaced and nobody would notice is a big problem.
Totally agree.
And then again, I'm not totally blaming him for that, but that's another problem of the main character getting lost in the show.
But, and that's why I was looking at the Marshal for one episode. We loved him more than we loved Pedro for a season.
That's my other point is, I've said it a million times over, like he's not right for this role. He was great in Wonder Woman. He was the best part of Wonder Woman. He was the only great part of Wonder Woman. Other than that, and anything else I've seen him in, I've had no issues with him in. This, he was non-existent until he took that mask off. Could have been anybody. And
that's how it was written.
It could be that way, but I'm sorry.
But they could have easily rewritten it, Andre, for Pedro, because look what they did for the Marshal, and look at the emotional impact that he had those last two episodes where he took his mask off with Bill Burr that episode, and then the finale. I mean, Jesus, man. I mean, that was a home run. Besides a Luke Skywalker, besides that,
that's probably his best bit. Right there. And again, and then that's the proof in the pudding is that you've got like Timothy Oliphant and Werner Herzog and all these other great character actors in these smaller roles that are standing, and Carl Weathers is even standing far above him in this. It's like nobody even knew it was really him until like way into it. Even that one.
But again, that's because he wasn't even cast until they were pretty much done filming season 1. So really, to me, that's actually a way of like how the character is written, and also I think he's fine. Disregard his politics. I think that he's perfectly fine for that. I don't think that anyone else would have been able to lift it much more, given what the character is written to be. And I also don't think that the Darth Vader comparisons are appropriate, because he was written to be terrifying. So now he wasn't a lead, but everyone was either speaking of him whenever he was in the room. Everyone was mostly terrified of him, and the ones that weren't were simply like soon choke forced. He was designed specifically to be iconic, and he was a joke until he got like the voice of James Earl Jones that actually fit the design there. So I think it's like an apples to oranges comparison. Like, I buy him as what he's supposed to be. He's supposed to be another run-of-the-mill Mandalorian that hasn't distinguished himself in any kind of particular way as the series begins, with his armor barely holding together and has to earn his Beskar and stuff like that. So he's a Mandalorian, and he's not the best of the class or anything. He's just another Mandalorian, probably like in the lower third percentile. And for that, Pedro Pascal, I think, is fine. And the ones that make the series come alive, as you say, is the guest cast. They are the ones that bring the personality and everything when the role prevents him from doing it. And remember, this is what we've heard that Pedro Pascal has been upset about, that he's too hidden behind the mask and he doesn't get to show what he can do.
Well, I'll put it this way then. Basically, Cara Dune has almost the same backstory as him, and she's infinitely more interesting.
Of course, I agree.
Yeah, but she wasn't part of cultish Mandalorian.
That's not even it, though. Like I said, like, I don't have it personally about Pedro. That's one thing. I've seen him in anything else I've seen him in, I have no issues with. Here, he was basically non-existent, and I disagree. I think almost any actor would have worked harder or elevated above, and it could very well just be that he was going through the motions and didn't want to be there. I don't know.
Half the shoot he wasn't there. Like, most of the time, we're looking at another actor hearing his voice.
If the Mandalorian ends yesterday, like, let's say that those were done, was Pedro wasted?
Yes.
Totally.
And again, it's not all his fault. I'm not disagreeing with that point, but again, I don't feel like he put in the effort that everybody else did. And again, part of it is because he isn't there. I get that, Andre. He's mostly just a voice, but he doesn't hold the presence of anybody else that's just done voices either. So, and Al Manuel O311, I don't know how if I'm saying that right. Hooper X from Chasing Amy described how awesome Darth Vader was already while diatribing about that farm boy for Luke Skywalker. Back cash grab. That's right. If you haven't seen Chasing Amy, that's awesome shit in that.
That's a great movie.
What's a Nubian? Bitch, you almost made me laugh. I love that fucking movie.
That was a good movie.
Fucking Tracer. I'll trace a line around your dead fucking body.
And Northern Blyther sent a super sticker, and on the topic of what we were discussing right now, then Nitsovich says for €5, Carl Urban killed Judge Dredd. I think you mean killed as Judge Dredd. A character with face we barely see. Yes, of course. He would have also excelled as the Mandalorian.
I agree.
But I think he would have been a very different Mandalorian.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I think that then it would have been a fundamentally different character to how he's written as right now. So that's what I mean. That, of course, Carl Urban would have killed it. But if you had cast him, it would have been a completely different character. And if it was the exact same Mandalorian as he's written right now, I don't think that Carl Urban would have accepted.
Maybe not. I don't know.
Yeah. And then says for $4.99, in the last scene in season 2 finale, they choose to zoom in on Cara. Grogu was looking at Din, and Cara as Luke took him away. Yeah, I was looking at Din and Cara as Luke took him away. Yeah. Indeed, that only goes to show how important she was. And there's another super chat on that note that I can no longer bring up on screen. And that is Lorne Connor said, Cara was the audience insert, the survivor who had lost everything but kept fighting even after the new government wanted them to stand down. That's actually a very, very good point right there. And on in terms of Pedro Pascal's, then Master Clockwork says, doesn't matter how good of an actor you are if your direction is to be a plank of wood. I don't know if that was his direction, but that was how it was written. And Annibal says, Tom is right. Could have been anybody.
Well, that's what I was kind of saying. He's doing like a generic man with no name kind of bit. And like, you can do stuff with that. I mean, Clint Eastwood made a career on that shit.
And Tom, and he also had one character in him, and that's the same character that Carl Urban could have played, but that is not the character that Pedro Pascal was told to play.
Well, and Clint has done different variations on it. Don't get him wrong on that part too. It's not always the same.
Yeah, no. Obviously, there's variations within that. I'm not saying otherwise, but what I'm saying is that if, say, Carl Urban had done it, I think that we would have gotten something more like what Clint Eastwood was doing, because remember, Clint Eastwood was also the original inspiration for Judge Dredd. This is true as a story, actually. Like, before they shot the movie Dredd, in which Carl Urban portrayed Judge Dredd, the entire cast and crew, they were sat down and they screened a movie to say, this is what we're going for. That movie that they screened was Dirty Harry. Again, there's like the Clint Eastwood thing. And I think that obviously Carl Urban could have played a character like that, but it wouldn't have been the Mandalorian that Pedro Pascal was told to portray. And if Carl Urban had been told the same thing, that you are to play this meek, secondary, slightly depressed little character that like, another side quest, and like, bow your head in annoyance, but you have to go through this, then I don't know how different it would have been. Because he would have been restricted by what the character is supposed to be. And of course, yeah, he could have brought more to it. But then again, how the character is supposed to be would have been out of character with how he performed it. So you have like the whole autonomy there. Is how I see it, at least. But who knows? We'll never find out. And Dr. Coffinnails wonders, why wasn't Hulk Hogan, I guess, in The Mandalorian? It would be awesome to have him there as a bounty hunter, actually. Complete silence. Okay, well then I'll move on.
I was dealing with some here, sorry.
Yeah, then I'll move on with the other super chats in the meantime. And because we have a few more. Eric O'Sullivan says, for $15, thank you so much. Just sending gratitude to this community and our gracious hosts. I don't have Disney Plus, so I can't cancel. Yet here's my Disney Plus money all the same. It's my day off, and I'm enjoying the conversation with you all. Oh, thank you, Eric. We're so glad for the support and to have you and everyone else here. We really appreciate that. And then HyperGuyver2 says, for $10, thank you so much. Something really bad to think about. For the last 5 years, I was a member of the 501st Rebel Legion and MMCC, and the toxicity has essentially torn these once respectable organizations apart.
Isn't it lovely when that happens?
These are like Star Wars like fan organizations.
Yeah, the 501st is actually the most famous stormtrooper group.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Like you have like these storm.
I think they were actually in Rogue One, if I'm not mistaken.
That's such a shame. I'm so sorry to hear that, because those were like fandoms at their best. Because although I don't like know the names, I was familiar with them. You have like the Norwegian garrison and stuff like that here in my neck of the woods as well. And if like the 501st has been destroyed by the toxicity, that's such a shame. And again, that's a testament to what Kathleen Kennedy and her leadership has done to Star Wars and Lucasfilm.
Yeah.
Politicized it and made it toxic.
Well, we got a first look at Loki series here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's some news dropping. Evidently, Kevin Feige's been dropping some stuff. We obviously got Far From Home for the title. For the next Spider-Man movie, there's an update on Deadpool we'll get to after some super chats. And that other Disney news we have as well. But there you go.
Far From Home? That was called something else.
Or whatever it's called. No Way Home. No Way Home.
No way home.
Too many homes.
I know. That's so weird.
And
Too many homes in the
cry,
multiverse.
cry all the way home, all the way
All the way
home,
home.
all the way home, all the way home, all the way home.
All the way home. Cry, cry, cry.
And since we spoke so much Judge Dredd, Sondre Hammerslag says Carl Urban should also go to Daily Wire and do a sequel to Judge Dredd with Gina. I'd be all for that.
If
But
that was the
Judge-
problem, yeah.
Yeah, that's not the problem, though. That's not the problem. The problem is that it's the right holder rebellion that has messed that up, and they've done it all by themselves, and they have no one else to blame for it.
Yeah, we should have a lot of shit right now if it wasn't for them. We'd have a Judge Dredd series and the other series too. I can't forget the name of it.
Rogue Trooper. Rogue Trooper.
Yeah,
Rogue Trooper, yeah.
or something. Yeah, but definitely the Judge Dredd one. And
This is what they were in,
Carl
yeah.
Urban's was theirs to lose, and they lost him.
And Valiant Renegade corrected me. 501st is in Mando, season 1 finale fight. Yeah, I knew they did something official.
If she doesn't get on the 519, I know what sorrow means. I'm gonna
Cry, cry, cry all the way home. Or Andre's just like, what the fuck are they doing?
I'm still waiting for someone in the chat to
Cups and cakes.
Yeah, I'm thinking that too. Like it must be like some kind of like American joke or
Yeah,
something.
I'm
something like
wasting my
that.
time. Dun, 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 dun. You
You
know what I
want. And
You know what I need. Oh, maybe you don't.
Do I have to come right out and tell you everything?
Give me some money. Give me some money.
But the question is, are we going to do Stonehenge?
No, we're not
No, we're not
gonna
gonna
fucking
do Stonehenge.
I really need to see Spinal Tap one of
I'm
these.
like that. I'm like that lukewarm.
Do I need to get the guitar out? Okay. Yeah,
Big
great,
bottom.
great
Big
guy.
bottom.
A big geek with glasses.
Mud flaps, my girl's got him.
He died. The official cause of death was he
Yes.
choked on vomit.
Yeah,
Well,
but
you
what
can't,
is
you
out
can't
of
really
vomit?
dust for one's.
No, you can't dust for vomit.
It wasn't his vomit, you know.
Yeah, moving on from all that.
Stubby Pete. Oh, Stubby Pete.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
great guy.
yes.
You know, he also died.
Very tragic.
We have some words of truth from Nietzevich, who says, "Oh God, I send super chats, but for heaven's sake, don't sing."
And
I can tell by his name, though, that he's probably not a Spinal Tap fan.
and what was just a 2-word review for your album Shark Sandwich? Shit sandwich.
You can't print that.
It
That's not
doesn't
real.
say that. It
That's not
doesn't-
real.
No, it doesn't say that.
And Fractal
Well, the
Jack
fine line
agrees that I
between
have
clever
to
and
see
stupid,
Spinal
though,
Tap.
really.
Andre, what's wrong with being sexy?
Yeah, what's wrong with being sexy?
No, sexist.
Oh,
Oh. But now if he was the one smelling the glove. Oh.
I have to make a point of saying that. I have, you know what? But I have seen though. I have seen the Norwegian remake of Spinal Tap. Which
No.
is pretty awesome.
It's so black. It's like
how
you couldn't be any blacker.
If there's a chance that this could get any blacker, I'd say none.
None blacker.
What's when they do the commentary in character? No, if she were a liar, a cheat, and a total bitch, she'd be an all right girl.
Yeah, the best part is on the DVD, they do a commentary as the character.
as the characters. Yeah.
It's fucking hilarious. The deleted scenes are almost as good as anything in the movie, too. That's the best part. And you know the album, the Metallica Black album, Andre?
Yeah, of course I have it.
Based that on Spinal Tap's album. Because what happened was they couldn't put their album on the shelf, so they just got like the press copies or whatever. They're all black, so they put those out, and they're like, what the hell is this? Like, so that's where Metallica got the idea to do the Black Album.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. I had no idea.
It's just all black. Yeah.
It does kind of look like black leather.
Yeah.
Well, that's pretty cool though, because like that's kind of like what started the whole thing. Because then you have Metallica's Black Album, which came from that, and that in turn led to Rammstein's Green Album with Mutter, and of course let's not forget Primus Brown Album,
and Weezer the Green and Blue Album. Actually, I think they got a couple of different colored ones now. But anyway, no, like you do need to see Spinal Tap.
Yeah, I know. I absolutely have to. It's just so many movies I have to see. There's even worse ones that I haven't seen, but I'm not going to admit which ones they are until after I've seen them. So
we got canceled in Boston. Yeah, it's not a big college town.
No. Wouldn't worry about it.
But moving on from Spinal Tap, the Fesman93 says, here's a Disney Plus idea, Jabba Hooters. Oh, yeah, nice. So thanks for those $5 and
yes,
the image and the idea.
Can we get pork wings at Jabba Hooters?
Yes, please, with barbecue. And yes,
I'll have some pork. Yeah.
The Spinal Tap bit was a bit of a take on the White Album, yes, but yes, Metallica have flat out said that they stole the Black Album idea from Spinal Tap.
I definitely have to see that. And Art Yokia says for €5, I don't want to live on this planet anymore. This woke world sucks. Yeah, and I see that you are in Euroland, which restricts it to Europe. But I have to say, I think for the time being, though, I think we're better off in Europe than certain other places. But yeah. And Snake was right, says it never ends with these people, so don't even start. Yeah, so true. The Rubber Band Man says for $9.99. Thank you for putting up the pic of Gina. Question, why is Kathy destroying everything? Her ideas suck, you would. Think she would try to salvage her reputation. Where is Bob Iger or the other Bob? Yeah, again, this is the big question: how they can let this happen. But they've shown that they're too hands-off, aren't they?
Well, not just that. We've seen how many times over that one hand never knows what the other hand is doing in these big corporations. I mean, look at the James Gunn situation. Look at all these other things, and even the THR article made it a point to say that this firing of Gina went over Favreau's head, but it did not go above Lucasfilm. So I mean, somebody within Lucasfilm, and there's only 3 people that above Favreau that could make that choice, and that's Kathleen Kennedy, Michelle Rejwan, and Momina Godzumta, or whatever her name is. Sorry, I apologize, but those are the only 3 people that have that power at the head of Lucasfilm to fire Gina.
Yeah, and the one who has the desire to do so is our very favorite Kathleen. There's no one else that has the.
You don't even have to take
the motivation. Yeah, exactly. We all know it's her, Tiberius Monk says, we are in a difficult time in this world, with people struggling physically, spiritually, and emotionally, and people spend time going after Gina. Shame. Yes, indeed. That's
the part I brought up about these keyboard warriors. It bothers me the most. If they put even half the effort they did into keyboard warring, into stopping child trafficking or fighting abuse and all these other things that are actual problems, then maybe the world would be a better place. But no, instead they concentrate on things that only affect such a small portion of the population.
Well, actually, the thing is that they are activists. They're just activists for the way wrong causes.
Yes,
or even just volunteering in your local town.
Yeah, but again, that's still activism. They just found the easiest activism. It's called the one where you can just sit on your ass in front of the computer or smartphone and feel gratified that way, and think that you are battling the totalitarians, when in reality you are one.
Slacktivism. It's called.
Yeah, that these people would do any kind of actual thing to actually make any real change, positive change. That's a tall order, I guess. And then Pablo Papano says, is Rosario's beard, Spartacus Booker, going to gallop to her aid? I guess that this is in reference to her boyfriend, the former presidential candidate. Well, yeah, well, we'll see if he can go on Twitter and tell people to knock it off. She's with us, but I don't know if that's gonna help. Cory Booker, that's his name, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, well, we'll see what he can do.
Senator from New Jersey, yes.
Yeah.
Jersey.
And Adam Wofford says, can we get that one guy that almost ruined Disney back in the 80s? Disney die like Circuit City Panama Airlines, so copyrights can be fixed. Can we get Michael Eisner back? Well, he probably couldn't do any worse.
Well,
he usually had some good years under Eisner, you know.
He did. I keep reminding people, though, Eisner gets way too much fucking credit.
Katzenberg
and all those guys underneath him were the real talent, and he drove them out. And then he fucking fucked up with Pixar. I mean, I get it. He did great for a while, but Bob Iger is a lot like Eisner, and people don't even see that. The only difference is Eisner didn't go buy a bunch of shit. Like, that's the only difference. He just spent.
It wasn't part of his strategy.
Stop wasting my time.
Dun, 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 dun.
You what up?
And then we have
Torturing Andre.
Poor Andre.
We have Mech1164 who says, as much as I hate the Death Star, AT&T is doing things right at HBO Warner, basically telling them to stick it with both the Snyder Cut and B5. Yeah, well, I have bad news about B5, or at least I've heard some troubling things. Some troubling things regarding, naughty robots. So yeah.
Well, this puts a lot.
They still have great shows.
This puts a lot of perspective on things.
Not much.
It's a fine line between clever and stupid.
It's too much. It's too much fucking perspective. We lost Andre.
We
oh no!
Like, fuck this noise. I'm done.
Now maybe I get the kazoo.
Now enough.
Woman. Oh,
enough. He says, I'm quitting my own show.
No, I was just refreshing the wrong windows.
Oh, okay. I knew
So,
you
yeah.
were kind of coming in fuzzy, so I didn't know if maybe your internet conked out or whatever.
Yeah, Mr. Tickle Trunk says, what did he say, B5? We're still trying to dig up some information here, but if you are a fan of Babylon 5, then brace yourself. Brace yourself. And you heard it here first.
Well, more like be afraid. Be very afraid.
Yeah, here's another
pretty
person. Frank Wells is another person that never gets brought up enough either.
Turns out Sex Film is on the charts in Japan.
So
Spinal Tap's cover. Sex Film.
And Jay Hansen says, for $10, thank you so much, I can't find the background info on the photo posted by Gina anywhere on the internet. I would like to see Gina play the woman in the photo for her first movie with Shapiro. I think maybe you mean that image of the one man standing up to basically the mob demanding complete submission. Is that the one you're referring to? It's out there.
Yeah, I'm not sure which one.
There. Yeah,
he said woman in the photo though, unless he's talking about that last post that she did.
Yeah, that I don't know which picture.
And I'm not sure what you would.
Yeah, Henson. So feel free to elaborate in the chat exactly what you're referring to. And until then, Ray J's World said for $5. Rob, Checkets has connections to Utah's Mormon pop culture. Disney and Star Wars have a big following in said cultures. Checkets comes Utah would share.
Checkets comes Utah would share. Oh, okay. Well, I'm just saying, Dave Checkets. I think
it's if Checkett comes, Utah would share. I think that's maybe what it's meant to say.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Oh, good going, Utah.
Well, yeah. Dave Checkets went to BYU. I mean, so Brigham Young University, which is a Mormon college. I mean, big football school. So I mean, he's a smart guy. So
yeah, sounds like it. And William Sova says for $10, thank you so much. What you know, 90 years of centralization, self-sustaining bureaucracy, carpetbagging, postmodernism, elitism, and foreign influence and subversion have come to roost. Pulls up Nick Cage face. Really? Yeah, there's much going on here. And Tonners the Tree says, what will happen to George Lucas? Oh, he will be fine. He will be fine financially, at least forever. Creatively, then who the heck knows exactly what kind of role he's going to have and what he is going to live to see be done to the Star Wars brand.
He'll be creative. He'll be heartbroken. Like, what? They massacred my boy, you know? So he'll be heartbroken, but he'll be fine financially.
Yeah. And Adam Wofford says, that triggered my artist in me. The body proportions are not even. Who the hell made this? They should be fired for this Trumbull art trash. I think he's referring to the He-Man art of the toy that we showed earlier. And We Tune TOC says, with every day we learn more and more about less and less, until we're ultimately going to know everything about nothing. Well, that seems about right. And Chris Raposo says, for 10 Canadian dollars, have our standards dropped so far? This is my concern with Mando and hesitation towards CW Superman. Have we gotten so much trash over the years? Anything mediocre or not SJW is worthy of praise. Yeah, that's a decent question, but according to Mr. Rage, Clark and Lewis, or whatever it's called, is apparently fine in the pilot. So
Superman and Lois and Yellow Flash also said the same thing here a little bit ago in the chat.
Well, evidently there's wide agreement on it. So, and again, I will say that I thought it looked decent in the Super Bowl spot. I really thought so.
And I think I sent Yellow Flash the script. I didn't see him answer, but I asked, did they do a rewrite then? So
they must have.
Yeah,
they must have. Captain Chokeout says, is Mr. H Jeremy Jess Osborne? That's obviously some joke, and I guess that Jeremy Jess Osborne is someone that Mr. H knows of for some sports figure or something, but I can tell you no. And Ray Chase World says, also in reference to the He-Man art, at least it don't look like the new Aquaman. So yeah, at least it has that going for it. And Alpha J30 had a response to that frustrated school teacher video. He says, in response to that video, to quote Sheldon from The Big Bang Theory, I weep for humanity. And Thunderstorm says, amazing designs exists. The oligarchs don't want it. They don't understand design is a food chain connected to playability.
Actually, you know what you just talked about Amber Heard. There is a little bit of breaking news, believe it or not, regarding Amber Heard when it comes to Aquaman 2.
Oh, you mean that she might be replaced?
Well, it comes from the most weirdest place. It comes from Forbes.
Yeah, we talked about this last night, and I think, did we talk about it the other day on the show, Andre?
I don't know.
Well, but actually, the thing that well, first of all, we haven't, just to anyone wondering, we are doing the super chats a little bit out of order right now. I'm dealing with some older ones. We're going to get through every single one in the end. So if we haven't gotten to yours, we're going to be getting there. But in terms of the Amber Heard thing, actually, it was last week that we first heard someone say in the chat or in the super chat if we had heard about it.
Okay.
And at the time, no, we hadn't. But since then, it has been picked up more steam. But I haven't. Also, before that, Anibal Morales wonders, did she take another crap?
No. But did this fly under the radar that she's selling her house and Forbes actually threw that in there into the article? Did we cover it? Because that's
we missed this, and I don't know if
this is news to me.
Yeah, this is actually something that the ladies found too on
oh yeah, because I saw on Mecca's video this afternoon, and I'm like,
yeah.
when did this happen?
Okay, so what's going on? Tell us the full story from.
We talked about this last night on High Council. That's what it was. Mary found it. or somebody found it and told Mary about it. One of the two. Comes way back from December of last year. Game of Thrones actress Emilia Clarke sells Venice, California home for $4.4 million. Now, because this recent stuff with Emilia Clarke playing Aqua Lady or whatever, fucking Mira or whatever her name is, comes from Boss Logic, who did a poster with her as Mira. And for those who know, Boss Logic is he does his own art, but he also does commissioned art sometimes officially, right? So that started this whole thing. But this comes from back in December and buried way at the bottom.
Right there near the dragon. It's up near the dragon.
Okay, yeah. This one here? Okay, this is it. Yeah, see, her badass Thrones role catapulted her to the A-list status, leading to other physically demanding film roles. Young Sarah Connor in Terminator Genesis, and in Solo, I don't know what the hell her name was in there. Kira Khaleesi.
Whatever.
She also signed on to replace Amber Heard as Mira in Aquaman 2. This was back in December.
How did we not see this?
Because it's buried in an article about her fucking selling her house. That's why.
Yeah.
Because nobody gave a shit.
Pretty much. So, like I said,
so yeah, evidently to whoever it was who said that last week, we hadn't heard about it then, but it appears to be something to it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And again, that's where I brought up the Boss Logic thing because I think he's been doing a lot of official stuff for like the Snyder Cut and stuff, hasn't he? If I'm not mistaken. And if he was asked by Warner to do this, I mean, I don't know. And then there's also more, and I don't know if you heard, Andre, there's been more cooking with this whole idea of, remember we reported, 4 or 5 months ago that Johnny Depp might be playing the Joker?
Yes, I remember we reported that.
That's coming out again. The only difference is now they're saying that Matt Reeves is eyeballing him for a sequel to the Batman as the Joker, not the other thing we were saying. That's the only difference that I'm hearing.
Yeah, I believe, but that's what we were reporting.
We reported he was going to be in Batman Beyond movie, is what we reported, I believe.
No, I believe we reported that Matt Reeves wanted him for the Joker to go up against Pattinson. I think.
No, well, I remember doing the thumb with Michael Keaton and Johnny Depp, though.
All right. Okay. Yeah. Well, anyway,
we had heard
involved in some capacity.
What we had heard, and this was at the time, this was before anything was signed off yet on Michael Keaton, because at this time that was still just rumors, and we had reported that they wanted him for Flashpoint, and they were also trying to talk him into doing a Batman Beyond movie in which the Joker would be played by Johnny Depp. Was the plan, and Tim Burton would direct. That's what we reported, from my recollection. And there's still rumors about Tim Burton being involved in something too. So I don't know what's going on exactly.
Yeah.
Something's going on though.
Something, yeah.
And it's really funny that if they're going to bring Johnny Depp in and boot out Amber. And then there's also been rumors all of a sudden that Johnny Depp's coming back to the Pirates of the Caribbean.
That'd be great.
That would be sweet. That would be well learned.
Which is all surprising though. But when did that verdict happen?
A couple months ago.
That's what I was trying to say. I was trying to remember if it was before or after this Forbes article.
Yeah.
Because it seems like after that verdict, everybody turned on him. And that's when Warner, because Warner already fired him for
the Fantastic Beasts thing.
Yeah. So that's where I'm like, why would they bring him back for Joker if they fired him for that, unless this is an AT&T move?
Yeah. Because again, you have civil war over there too, with AT&T seemingly being on the side side of common sense.
I hope that's the case. I really do. Because, and again, I'm not saying that Amber needs to be canceled, but she can go flip burgers somewhere. She don't deserve to be an actress.
Well, actually, no, she doesn't have to. She doesn't have to be canceled. Everything suggests that she is an actual criminal.
I know
that the things that she has done are legit criminal offenses, and that's not cancel culture wanting her to be canceled.
No, I think she should go to jail.
That's justice needs to be served, and then I mean justice probably, but that's what one wants for her. It's justice in accordance with the letter of the law. That's something else.
Won't happen.
Probably not, but one can hope.
As Rob always points out, this is how this shit works. They ask you, well, when did you stop beating your wife? Not have you ever beat your wife?
Yeah. Exactly. All right. Well, anyway,
Rob, speaking of, has to leave.
I got to jump, guys. I got a couple things to take care of. Everybody, have a good
Don't
rest of your
leave,
day.
guys listening, because we actually have a shit ton of Marvel news to get to right after these.
Yeah, we have loads more to go
Hold on.
through.
Okay,
so,
well, maybe let me stick around for a little bit longer.
You see that little
Damn
link
it.
I sent you, Tom?
Oh, Feige's dropping all kinds of shit. What did you send me now?
There, hold on. Let me stick around for a little bit longer. I want to hear
Okay,
this.
I got it.
Cholo.
Oh, now what's Sholo doing? Oh, he's gonna be the Blue Beetle.
Yeah, we're going to get into that as well.
Oh, okay.
Is that confirmed now?
Oh, you did. I got an audition tape here anyway.
It's a funny audition tape, and then the director and Shola are following each other now.
Well, that is.
For those who don't know who Sholo is, go ahead and tell them, Polly.
Miguel Diaz on Cobra Kai. Everybody. Yeah,
Oh, that dude. Oh, okay,
Ow.
cool.
Yeah.
So we'll get to that along with other news.
Don't
here.
leave, Rob.
Good for him.
Yeah, I just want to run through a few of the older super chats, so we get caught up on the older, so we only have the newer ones to go through. Then we can get.
Well, I want to
the
say
Marvel
this:
stuff.
Dr. Coffin-Nails brings up a very valid point. Who gives a fuck about Blue Beetle? I didn't until I found out Sholo might be playing him.
Let me tell you, I have all his records. Let me tell you,
I do.
Man, the solo stuff is actually not as good as stuff when he was with the other guys, but with John and George and Ringo. But let me tell you, Blue Beetle, I got all his love all his work. And just
not a beetle, not a beetle.
What? No.
Stop wasting my time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, stop wasting their time, Rob.
Yeah, we'll get into Sholo playing Blue Beetle, because I agree that's one thing that makes this exciting. But way before then, Mags said, "I thought emotions aren't for sharing, though. Only when it benefits the one side." And /111111 says for €5, "Was the video Tom showed a deleted scene from the movie Idiocracy? I got the special edition DVD and I don't recall this one." That, of course, would have been the history teacher being appalled by the level of his class. And on that note, Stefanianis ex-Smuggler's Cantina also says, "I'm a historian. I'm disgusted. That video makes me so angry." Whereas Snake Shit says, "That made me weep for my son's future." Dylan Woolley says, "That TikTok video is a result of underfunded public education in America." Well, actually, I think it's more a matter of strategy than funding, but that's neither here nor there. Son of the D says for 750 Icelandic krona. So greetings, fellow Nordic brother. "If the internet would go down forever, those people would break down in tears because they have no idea what else to do with their lives." Yes, you are not wrong. And In Hot Water says, "Stop beating around the bush and talk a bit about Avatar 2. Yeah, that's going to be a real doozy, won't it? Avatar 2. No. About Avatar 2. So moving on. Your Muslim uncle says for $4.99, "Our buying of Saudi oil isn't helping our extremist problem. Similarly, Disney and support of it isn't helping our leftist extremist problem." It's bad state of affairs. Crazy-Eyed Jedi says for $5, "Never had Disney Plus, but signed up for Daily Wire in support of Miss Gina Carano." We caught that one, so then we are basically up to speed.
Awesome.
About the older ones. We still have many super chats to get through, but they're like newer ones. So with that, Tom, next main
Where do we
topic
start?
of the day.
Where do we start? Let's
start with Solo. Let's begin with that. Let's begin there.
With Cholo? Okay.
And Solo. And Cholo.
All right. Here's his audition.
You have to put it on screen, Tom.
Yeah.
I'm really got to change the settings on this fucking thing.
Yeah. So to everyone wondering, because I believe it was yesterday when the Wrap had the scoop that DC would be making a Blue Beetle movie, and this is a big deal because this is, I believe, the first major big blockbuster Latino superhero movie. I think that was the Wrap on that. I'm not too familiar with Blue Beetle, but Paulie, what can you tell us?
Yeah, the director is Angel Miguel Soto. I know he's Puerto Rican. I don't know if is from there or from New York, but he's had a couple films under his belt. And then last year, it was a film, Charm City Kings or something like that, won the Sundance Audience Award, and so that got him a lot of recognition and notice. And he's directing Blue Beetle. Blue Beetle, in its current incarnation, is a Chicano teenager from El Paso, Jaime Reyes, I believe. That character's been around since 2006. Of course, Blue Beetles have been around. It's one of the oldest, if not the one. I think it's one of the oldest comic book characters since the 30s. But yeah, well, I mean, it's him and Buscetta from he's either Argentinian, he's South American, the one that is directing The Flash. And
the guy who did the It
and the guy who did the It films and Mama.
Muschetti.
Yeah, he's great. So I mean, he's technically a Latino director as well. So and he just cast Sasha Calle, which made the news a couple days ago, Supergirl, for the Flash movie.
So let's check this out now that I actually have it on screen.
What's up? My name is Shola Maridueña, and this is my audition for Jaime Reyes, Blue Beetle. Let me just,
Kid's gonna have to put on some weight.
What's up? My name is Shola Maridueña.
That's funny.
That was good.
Yeah.
For those who can see it again.
Imagine how disappointed Johnny Lawrence would be.
Isn't the Blue Beetle kind of a comedy character anyway? Like that's kind of the point.
Well, I think also too, Andre, is soon as Soto got the job, the Twitter started going off saying Shola would be great for that role, and then they followed each other, so people were getting all excited, and maybe this is just Shola's way of picking fun at that. But we kind of poked around if La Bamba was ever remade, heaven forbid, Shola would be a great Richie Valens.
Yeah. I would say, like, I would totally watch that movie with him in it. Like, I know nothing about Blue Beetle, like literally nothing. I wasn't aware the character existed until yesterday. But
I know a little bit.
But with him in the role, I'm all in.
From what I've seen, is like, yeah, I said it is a bit more of a humorous character, at least the way it is now, and has been handled the last few years. And I think that's what he's doing here. I think he has been cast. I think he's just goofing with us and having some fun with it.
That'd be great.
Yeah, probably.
I
think it was cast. I'd be all for that.
That's kind of the idea of the Blue Beetle is like, yeah, he's kind of a klutz and stuff like that too. Like, yeah.
And Sholo just, I want to say maybe not even 2 months ago, got a whole new deal with his agency and all that stuff. So, maybe this is, probably part of the deal, like going for bigger roles.
I think so. I think
I would imagine so.
I'm not going to say for sure, but I would say if I had to take a guess, he's been cast, and this is just his way of.
And if he isn't, he really needs to be.
Yeah.
It seems like a good story, how he becomes the Blue Beetle. He's not the original, obviously, and people in the chat they know Jaime Reyes, and they actually have followed and liked this character, calling the DC's Peter Parker. So that's cool.
Well, yeah, we all know the story. You know, Pete Best was the original guy, and then they got rid of him. Then no,
Beetle.
What? No, there wasn't a fifth guy named
Beetle,
Stu.
different
No?
Beetle. No.
Oh, okay.
All right. Well, this is another thing we were right about. We had been reporting that Disney would be doing an adult add-on, and not only did they announce the Alien movies were finally coming completely remastered in 4K, but they will be getting a Blu-ray release finally as well, which is I'm glad because the first one is the only one that has been released. But yeah, this comes from the other day, but people didn't pick up on it until the Alien news. But Disney Plus Star, the 10 adult TV shows and movies we are looking forward to. Yeah, because this also comes on the heels. We got some Deadpool news as well. But yeah, so we were pretty much right, Andre, about the whole Disney Plus launching Star.
Yeah, because my understanding is that that's going to be kind of like the international Disney add-on edition, where the content that in America goes to Hulu will in Europe and around the world go to Star. That's kind of my understanding there. So that's interesting because it's an add-on to Disney Plus. And not a separate thing, because my understanding is that Disney Plus and Hulu, they're packaged as two different things, right? Like if you have one, you have to get the other one separately, right?
I don't know. Tom, is that true?
You can get a package with them together, but otherwise they're technically not the same thing. No.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Whereas Disney Plus Star, that I believe is like an add-on, is something that you just unlock within Disney Plus. I think that's like the difference there.
I think so. Like,
you know what's cool? You know what's cool with that? That if you already have Disney Plus and you're in the US, and if you don't want to get Hulu on the side, but you want Hulu content,
I think I know what it is.
If you were to surf shark yourself to Europe with your existing Disney Plus subscription, you'd get Star. You'd get all that Hulu goodness.
But evidently it's not internationally yet, so they better figure something out quick because I want to see Aliens in 4K, but I'd have to get Disney Plus again. So I guess I'll have to wait for my Blu-rays in 2022.
So what you're saying, Andre, is that you can use the code MIDNIGHT and you can have all that great content available to you?
I am saying that you can find ways of surf sharking all this great content by augmenting stuff you already have with international editions.
Wow! Imagine that.
Imagine that.
So yeah, for those who are looking forward to Alien, and the part that makes me happy is they're at least putting them out on Blu-ray. Like that's the thing, because like they've been pretty sporadic on that kind of shit lately.
Yeah, a lot of stuff's just getting DVD re-releases, isn't it?
Oh, they're not even.
I'm
getting
also
DVD
very happy
disc
about
releases.
like the. I'm also very happy about like the Alien coming to 4K Blu-ray because I think that we'll be seeing a heck of a lot less 4K Blu-ray releases going forward.
That's what I'm saying.
So I really appreciate the ones that we're going to get.
Yeah, and to answer your question, Rob, no, actually, they've been cutting out physical media for a lot of them.
Oh, okay, bummer.
Yeah, because like there's a lot of movies that are on Disney Plus that are in 4K that haven't been released on 4K Blu-ray yet.
What about?
That never will.
Yeah,
Probably never will.
What about like in Region 2? I mean, is just Region 2 still getting a lot of releases? Or
Well, 4K is actually region free, so that's a plus. But 9 times out of 10, if it gets a 4K release anywhere, it's pretty much everywhere.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. That's like the thing. You don't have regional 4K releases the same way that you have regional Blu-ray releases. Like on Blu-ray, there's no end of the amazing releases that you can get from Germany and stuff like that you don't have anywhere else. But that's not the same with 4K.
Yeah, I mean, I got a really great import. I got a lot of great imports, but one of them specifically is the Punisher one, and the Super Mario Brothers ones are great.
Just as soon as we got rid of the region coding, that they started phasing out physical media.
Pretty much, yeah. and then I also got like before they came out with the new Blu-ray of Dawn of the Dead, I had the Italian import or whatever it was too. So like, yeah, I mean that kind of stuff at least we're getting around, but Now it's just getting to a point where like the releases are far and few between. Period.
Yeah.
Sandra Hammerslag, yeah, Disney Trooper likes Disney. Welcome to Disney After Dark.
Meow, chicken, wow, gosh. And as I reported over a year ago, Marvel studio head suggests Blade movie won't be rated R. As I said, they're going for a hard PG-13.
Tom, I believe that you are entitled to the usual bit of footage.
Oh, sweet. Now you tell me when I'm like on the other page.
I fucking knew it! Oh!
But yeah, as I reported back then, they were in talks with Wesley Snipes. I don't know if they've managed to work anything out with him yet or not. I haven't heard on that part. Yeah, according to other than Deadpool, though, they're not going to do anything R-rated, according to Kevin Feige at this point. So, and that's not a surprise. We kind of knew that. But this is supposed to be a harder PG-13, and I have pointed out to people, yeah, I'm not happy about it either. But if you take out like the hard F words, really, there's not much you can't get away with now that they got away with in 1997's Blade. If you think about it,
there just won't be any filth, flaw, and filth.
There just won't be any boobs or F words, because you can pretty much get away with just as much blood in a PG-13 movie, especially when it's vampires or monsters and zombies and stuff like that.
I'm okay with that. The only thing that really needs to be rated R is Deadpool and the Punisher. Like and especially the Punisher. There's no compromise. That cannot be done on PG-13. There are many other things you can get away with, but not that. So it'll be interesting to see what the future of the Punisher has there.
Well, and we have our answer now to where all this news is coming from anyway. Kevin Feige had talked at TCA.
Television Critics Association?
Yeah. And he did say that Deadpool, of course, will be R-rated. So.
Okay.
What else did he say?
I don't know. I'm going to go find out. We're going to have to go find out. I'm just learning. I knew this had to come from somewhere, so this is where I'm first learning about it.
Yeah. Tom, why don't you do a research on that for a couple of
sure.
for a minute or two while I run through a few more super chats. Try to get us closer to caught up with that, because we have a few more to go through there.
Can I say a couple things?
Sure.
Yeah, sure. Go for it.
There's some questions in the chat. Is like who was like the first Latino superhero? Miguel O'Hara, Miles Morales, or the Beetle? Technically, it would have been Miguel O'Hara, written wise in the early '90s. Then Miles, then Blue Beetle, I believe, as far as on paper. And then of course, guys, the first two I mentioned were Marvel and Blue Beetle's DC. So for DC, it's the first Latino lead movie, so to speak.
I got a breakdown here, though, when you're ready, of some of the basic music.
I want to run through a couple more super chats first. Norman Blythers sent us a Kitty super sticker. And Fat Steven Seagal says for $2 Canadian, why isn't Chun-Li in Midnight's Edge? Angry Jessica. You know what? I'd absolutely love to reach out to the actresses that have played Chun-Li and get them on Midnight's Edge for an interview. So if they're willing to, then that may happen yet. But as of right now, they're not here. Narcissistic says for $5, I'm among those that cancelled, and I'm back and forth if I will ever resubscribe. I'm curious how many others would if they dumped Kathleen. I might. Actually, if they dumped Kathleen, then I think that would actually be a really, really good signal to send if one then were to resubscribe and say, I am now back if you do not muck this up further. I think that would be justified. And then Tiberius Monk says, keep singing, do it. Also sent an earlier super chat. Yeah, we got to that earlier super chat, Tiberius. We did that. And Yellow Flash 2 says, Superman and Lois was fantastic. Who'd have thought? But there you go. Rolf Hartman says, Metallica admits Smell the Glove inspired their Black Album. And Crass
Spinal Tap,
yeah, I figured that's. I have to see that movie. But again, the Norwegian remake of it, or rather, a tribute movie inspired by it, is actually also really badass.
Well, that's what we should do.
So,
we should have you watch Spinal Tap, and then Rob and a couple of us will watch the movie you're talking about.
Yeah, that would be pretty sweet.
And then we'll do a cross review.
Yeah, we should have Robert Meyer Burnett join that because he's a big fan of one of the songs in it. So
Things are going off in the chat. The Zorro. Sorry, guys.
What about Zorro?
Yeah, what about Zorro?
Zorro is technically one of the oldest. They're going. Zorro's the oldest Latino superhero.
That's actually true.
That's true. I didn't even think about that either. Now you say that, yeah.
Now when you say it, because he's a traditional Californio.
He's actually the original superhero, if you think about it.
Yeah, he is. He's he like without Zorro there would be no Batman. So you can thank Don Diego de la Vega for that.
First superhero, first one with
a good Californio educated in Madrid. So yeah,
have the secret identity and he's a vigilante and all that kind of stuff.
The California Robin Hood.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Indeed. And he, in turn, was inspired by the Scarlet Pimpernel, who was the opposite of Robin Hood.
And I hope Christopher Tock's girlfriend is not watching, so she'll know how to get into his phone now.
Anyway, moving on with a couple of more. Crass Socks wonders for $10. Thank you so much. Do you think KK has damaged her professional reputation? Oh, hell yes.
Oh, yeah.
It's an open secret in the interview that she botched this completely. But no one will say it to her face because that would be really, really awkward in the cocktail parties that they all go to. But they all know. Everyone knows. Tom, you were saying...
About the TCA thing? Or what? I wasn't saying anything else. You guys were...
Okay, fine. And I'll do a couple more super chats before we move on. Primal Plasma says... Episode 7 of WandaVision was pretty cringe. I'm starting to lose faith in Disney. Bad Batch will suck, I think. Well, of course it will. That's one of Kathleen Kennedy's.
We actually have a date for Bad Batch.
Yeah, do we? For was it like March or something like that?
May 4th.
Oh, yeah, of course.
May the 4th be with you.
Yeah.
Loki will be on June 11th.
I look more forward to that, although I have to say I'm pretty bummed out on all things Disney and Marvel right now.
Same here.
And then Tiberius Monk said, "Yay, you read my earlier super chat." Yeah, of course we did. We read all super chat. We just have go through them randomly and out of order because that's how we roll. And Narcissistic also said for $5, "I would love to see this situation expose the bullying culture of theme park employment. I can't elaborate, but it absolutely reaches to entry level." Oh, that I can believe. And it all needs to be exposed. And Christopher Tock says, Shapiro needs to make an appearance in every film like Stan Lee. The Shapiro-verse. Writing sex farm woman so Andre says it out loud. Yeah, there you go. That's that sound bite. The Shapiro-verse, that would be something. That would be a way to make minds melt. And Aaron says, if I didn't cancel Disney Plus for their Chinese relations, I'm not canceling it for Gina. I'll watch her next movie no matter how bad or good for support. Yeah, and that's entirely fine. Master Clockwork says, no, don't they dare ruin B5. And then screw that in Norwegian. I'm done. So yeah. Every fan of Babylon 5, and that's also what Mr. Trunk says. If they come for Babylon 5, I'll start a channel, and as Gary from Nerdrotic said, I will dedicate my channel to destroying that effing company. So yeah. And Harry Nice Guy says, Disney is the Dead Star. You know this ended. And Joseph Nash says, Babylon 5 is like the science fiction version of the Bible, man's place in reality. While Valiant Renegade says, WandaVision interest gets depressed by KK's Gina Gate. Feige reportedly gets pissed with the spillover. Feige mass dumps Marvel news to salvage. Got it. Yeah, that sounds about right, doesn't it, Tom? Because with that we're caught up, so carry on. In your own time, Tom. Tom left. Brilliant timing. Okay.
In the chat.
But yeah, it absolutely. It kind of does look like that. That the spillover from the Gina thing. Like, my understanding is that it affected interest in WandaVision really badly. In like the worst way possible. It like completely drowned out the excitement and the goodwill, because the annoyance isn't restricted just to Lucasfilm, but to the entire company at large, including Marvel Studios. So that's bothersome, isn't it?
It's the hand that rocked the cradle. I mean, everything shook.
Yeah.
Like you said, I mean, I finally caught up on Wanda, but it's like kind of like blew the wind out of the sail for me.
Yeah,
on that one.
Yeah. What did you think of the season 7 revelation that was supposed to be like this huge, shocking moment? Was it a Luke Skywalker moment to you? That what's her name? Agatha was behind it all along.
I haven't seen the last episode.
Okay. I just spoiled it for you then.
Yeah, it's all, it's kind of going towards there anyways. I mean, it's all kind of like, a fart in the wind, isn't it now?
Sorry about that. My phone's been going off the hook this morning since my doctor's appointment yesterday. Sorry.
Yeah, that's all right.
All right. So what's going on? Marvel, we said about the Deadpool, Falcon and Winter Soldier is only 6 episodes. 6 hours is what we landed on is the best way to tell our story. Kevin Feige said 6 hours, whether it's 6 episodes or 9 shorter episodes like WandaVision. The shows aren't inexpensive, so the per episode cost is very high. And to get to that bar I was talking about. So there's that. The other news was WandaVision doesn't have a season 2 yet. And Wanda will be in Doctor Strange 2. We covered the Bad Batch and Loki already, and I think that rounds up most of the news that we have covered, it looks like, for Marvel. But yeah, I agree with the whole sentiment that a lot of this is probably to distract from what's going on with Gina.
Okay, then I have a question for you, gentlemen. Were you distracted? Was the stuff that Tom just said now, was that so amazingly exciting that we are all distracted now?
No, because we got 0 out of this. We already knew all of this shit.
Yeah. Polly, were you excited? Are you more excited for WandaVision now, the remaining episodes?
No.
Rob, this is where you share your feelings. You were supposed to drop out some time ago, and you stayed on just for the Marvel news. Were they worth it?
No.
Like, do you feel ready to forgive Disney and move on from the whole Gina Carano situation? Is it all good now? Now that we have these. Tom, what the hell did you even say? I forgot it already. What were these news again?
There you go. There's your answer. That'd be negatory good, buddy. I tried watching WandaVision, the latest episode of WandaVision, and just it's the whole Malcolm in the Middle thing, or whatever, and the whole Modern Family. I said, you know what?
Modern Family, yeah.
That's it. I'm done. The TV shtick's gotten old. See you later. I don't care.
Didn't you like that whole monsters bit with the song? It was Agatha all along. Like, was that amazing?
I didn't see that. I didn't see.
You switched off before you got to it.
Yeah.
Oh, you didn't miss out much. Honestly,
I was 10 minutes and I was like, you know what? I really don't feel like watching this. So, goodbye. There you go. Oh God.
I haven't watched the last few episodes.
Yeah, well, whether you've seen it or not, or if I spoiled you, honestly, I don't feel too bad about it because it was pretty let down anyway. It was like, water is wet. It was like that kind of spoiler. So, yeah, nothing pretty too exciting there. So really, was that all? Was that all they had to give us, Tom?
That's it.
That's it. Well, I thought there was something exciting here.
Nothing new.
Yeah.
Not a damn thing new. We all knew all this shit already.
Yeah. Well, that was nice going. Very, very good going on them. And Vetrice says, great t-shirt idea. Text of, where's Chun-Li? And a Chun-Li pic with her outfit turned into where's Waldo's stripes. I've heard worse ideas.
That or, would be more ambitious if you put a bunch of characters and try and find her in the midst. But yeah.
Yeah. And Larry wants me to say Frankensteinian. So, yeah, happy to accommodate. And Stephen Otten says, hail Midnight Search and everyone in the chat. Indeed, hail one, hail all.
Paulie, were you going to say something?
Oh, rest in peace, Iron Fist. It's trending, and that faggy didn't name Iron Fist and all that.
Actually, this is what we have heard too from our good friend and scooper Mikey Sutton, who has basically said the same thing, that Marvel Studios, they didn't make the Netflix series. That was Marvel Television, which is defunct right now. But they liked some of the stuff that they did, so they're going to bring over Charlie Cox as Daredevil. They're going to bring over John Bernthal as the Punisher. They're going to bring over what's her face from that female alias detective
Kristen
thing.
Ritter.
Yeah, that's the one. They're gonna bring over Mike Coltier, or what his name
Mike
was
Polder.
as Luke Cage. At least they're gonna try, but not with Iron Fist. That gets a total reboot and recast. So no Finn Jones.
Okay, well,
Miss Marvel leads into Captain Marvel 2, not that we didn't already know that.
Big fucking deal. Yeah, Sana Amanat is the only one pleased with that news.
So yeah, much excitement to go forward to in the world of Marvel there. And Adam Wofford says, so in the Latin heroes, Zorro, then Dark Hawk, Chris Powell, then Spider-Man 2099, Miguel O'Hare, then Blue Beetle, and then Skin from Generation X. I think you probably lost a few, but I don't know. Paulie, is that a decent summary? Pretty sure there must have been some before Miguel O'Hare, but
and then Miles Morales is in there somewhere. But yeah, I think it's Miguel O'Hara.
Yeah, that's Spider-Man 2099.
Yeah.
That's a movie they also tried and failed to make. That actually would have been pretty cool, I think. But yeah. And Edward Asenius wonders, what does Pope Iger think? Well, he's probably not overjoyed, I should imagine. We shall let you know when we get an indication, but I haven't got one right now. But I very much doubt that they're happy about tens of thousands of Disney Plus subscriptions, and or unsubscriptions, and certainly hashtag cancel Disney Plus trending on Investor Day. I think he would probably have been pretty livid about that. You guys think so too, or am I alone in thinking that? Yeah, I guess I'm alone.
Evidently, you're
thinking
alone.
that, but yeah,
I don't know.
What does Pope Iger think? Well, we can tune into the evening show to think.
Yeah.
After answer, he'll respond eventually in After Dark.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. And Natasha says, "Be sure to hit that like if you haven't yet." And with that, we have, I believe, we have caught up on every single super chat.
Awesome.
I think we have. And I think we also got through every single main story that we had to get through, including the complete non-stories like these Marvel news.
Yeah, the biggest news of it, of course, was that Spider-Man got a title, No Way Home.
Yeah.
There we go. That's the biggest news out of that, folks. So that was a lot of non-news. Sorry, Rob.
To be fair, though, we're not the one that should be apologizing. But I should be apologizing for those boring news and for letting this whole Star Wars situation descend into the situation it has. And also, some people should be apologizing for what's in the works with Babylon 5, although that's not quite done yet.
Right.
So beware of naughty robots.
All right, kids. So I want to thank you all for joining us again here on Midnight's Edge in the Morning. We will see you Friday. We may have a mead tomorrow night. If you head on over to Gary's stream, the link's in the chat there. Tell him that we sent you from Midnight's Edge, so you can raid the stream there. Anything to say, Paulie, before we go?
Yeah. Happy 93rd birthday, James Wong. Guy's amazing.
Well, happy birthday.
Character actor James Wong, Blade Runner. It's been in like 600 movies.
Absolutely.
Yeah, brilliant. Happy birthday to him.
I wanted to say
we got another comment and another super chat towards the end here. Stellar Door wonders, speaking about Spinal Tap, Andre, do you know Get Ready to Be Boys Voiced, boy band mockumentary from Norway circa 2000? Yeah, remember what I said about like that Norwegian Spinal Tap remake like thing? That's it. Get Ready to Be Boys Voiced, and it's amazing. I absolutely love it. It's hilarious, and I really want to present you guys to it because it's just so good, so Norwegian. So it'll be interesting to see what you all have to say about it. And we also got one more super chat. Hypergiver 2 says Zorro was created by Johnston McCulley in 1919, who was from my hometown of Chillicothe, Illinois. Yes, indeed. And you know what? We actually have a documentary on the Mark of Zorro in conjunction with its 100th anniversary. That would be of the movie, not of The Curse of Capistrano, the first book. So be sure to watch that if you haven't already. And we also have the whole movie up for free on Midnight's Edge Live archives. So yeah,
there you go.
A lot of legend and a lot of figures from the 1800s that Zorro was based on. There's like different actual people that existed, from Joaquin Murrieta to
I was about to say Murrieta was one.
Yeah, to Ruscio Vasquez, and even Gregorio Cortez. They all had problems with the law. Imagine.
Yeah. Yeah, like, and even then, like California was ruled by authoritarians that needed a champion to protect the people from. So yeah. All right.
With that, let's say goodbye to everybody. Check out Paulie's channel, the Latino Slant, if I can talk. Check out Mr. H's channel as well. Check us out on Midnight's Edge After Dark if you want some more goofy fun. And don't forget to also subscribe to the live archive. Anything else, Andre, before we go?
No, I just want to say thank you, everyone, for watching. Be sure to catch us again on Friday at 6 p.m. Central European Time, which is 9 a.m. Pacific Time. And for every other time zone, and feel free to calculate from those two. Also, thanks to Mr. H Reviews for joining us early on today. He will be streaming his stage show in about, I believe, 40
minutes. Yeah.
Yeah, so head on over to him as well if you want some more live streaming. I also know that Gary is streaming right now, so I'm sure that some people want to head on over there. And Max wants to see koalas.
A lot of people.
There we go.
Koalas in the rain, koalas in the rain, no fucks given. Koala, koalas in the rain, koalas in the rain, no fucks given. Koala. Timber!
All right. Thanks a lot, guys. We appreciate you. If it wasn't for you, we couldn't do this. Take care of yourselves and each other. Have a great day.